winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
This is Dr. Chris Hasty with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. For more than 35 years, we've been taking care of the student athletes at East Carolina University. We are happy to have received the designation of official team physicians from the university. Whether you need assistance with a sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, my colleagues and I are here to help. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique brew pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer, nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
Emery Hunt. He's on CBS Sports HQ. What do you think about the Beamer hire, and what are the Gamecocks going to look like in 2021?
Interesting hire, though. I'm interested to see how it works out. I know they're bringing in transfers. Jason Brown was phenomenal at St. Francis. I'm talking about a guy that has a deep arm that can go all the way down the field. So it'll be, interesting to watch him hit the ground running. But they have a tremendous run game.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome to a free Beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250 at 9:30. You can find us online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show on Facebook Live or on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV. You'll be notified of all of the videos we post, including today's practice recap from Mike Houston. He spoke with the media after day 3 of ECU football practice. The video is up in its entirety on YouTube, so check that out and learn what the Pirates are up to out at fall camp. We will have some comments from Mike Houston coming up in just a few minutes, and also in hour number 3 of today's show, as we will talk ECU football and NFL in hour number 1 with Tony Dunn and our resident fanny expert and fantasy expert. Those go hand in hand. CW Sloan is here as well. Also coming up on today's program, we'll get a Harold Varner III update, talk some golf with Mark Greenhalgh at 4 o'clock. Brett Kennedy, WCTI 12, joins us at around 4:20. At 5 o'clock, Morgan Ahlers will be here. We'll also talk to Cory Scott, head coach of the Greenville Little League All-Stars. They won their game earlier today in Warner Robins, Georgia, so they stay in the winners bracket. We'll find out when they play next, recap today's game, and find out what's going on down in Georgia with Cory Scott. It is Hawaiian Shirt Friday here in the Pirate Radio studios. Shirley and Chandler looking great. Big Dog as well is in Studio B. And Glenn, you, I'd say around here, you kind of got the ball rolling on this. And I got to tell you, when you slide one of these shirts on, your whole outlook on life changes.
It's a nice vibe.
Yeah. I feel just so positive right now.
And the shirts are cool because you can kind of leave the top buttons open and let things breathe.
Yeah.
I like that.
Showing a little cleavage over there.
I like that aspect of it. It's summertime. It's a good summertime shirt.
Chandler's unbuttoning his down a little bit. All right. Shirley, how you feeling over there?
I'm feeling pretty good.
You seem unsure.
Well, I mean, my shirt it's a little snug in one little spot, and it's kind of bugging me a little.
I tell you, when I sit down, these buttons are struggling a little bit, but when I stand up, man, I
honestly don't think it's a good Hawaiian shirt unless it struggles around one roll.
Okay.
Like, I think that's kind of supposed to happen because it happens with all of mine, so.
Let's welcome in Tony Dunn to the show.
Aloha.
I like that.
Yeah, mine's kind of more Miami-ish.
You have like a linen shirt on.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good vibe with the hair.
It's the best I could get.
And CW, you did get the memo. You just do not have a Hawaiian shirt in the closet.
No, but as you pointed out, Troy Polamalu was having his speech on Saturday, actually, since he didn't get it last year. So I'm kind of representing somewhat of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Hawaiian-esque week.
I'll allow it.
Stretch. I like that. I want to go back to this the roll thing, the Hawaiian roll thing. I feel like that
the Hawaiian roll.
You want to go back to that?
Just call me a double cheeseburger at this point.
I feel like that should be one of the slogans for the Hawaiian rolls that we all love to eat. Like, we got
Embrace your inner Hawaiian roll.
Have you ever made French toast with the Hawaiian rolls?
Sounds good.
Wow.
That is amazing, brother.
Sounds good.
We do sliders on Hawaiian rolls quite a bit at the household.
Egg them
They're really
jewels
good.
up and make some French toast with them.
Egg them jewels up.
It's really good.
All right, we're going to talk NFL. CW, do you have a draft going on?
2 more members left, and we'll be ready to roll.
Okay.
So they'll be entered before the week.
Throughout the show, as we talk, we'll be conducting a live mock draft. And also, by the way,
Real draft, actually.
Can I go number 11?
Speaking of real drafts, I'm on the clock for the Sports Bar
it's
Fantasy
starting
League,
right now?
which has begun. Tony, I need to talk to you off the air about what the hell Google phone is or whatever you sent me last night.
Yeah, that's the phone number. Text me.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick.
I know who it is. Can I pick for you?
Are you sure?
I think so.
Who?
Well, McCaffrey's already taken for pick 7 as a keeper, if I'm not mistaken, right? Dusty took Dalvin Cook. Brooks took Ezekiel Elliott. So
we're already picking at it.
Maybe I should let Tony make my pick.
No, I'm saving them for myself. Oh, wait.
Well, where are you picking, Tony?
No, I'm not getting the guy.
I mean, I'm not getting
Chandler. I've got your conundrum here.
I'm not getting him at 12, so I know who I would take him. It's a no-brainer.
I'm taking Alvin Kamara with my pick.
Okay.
Were you going to take Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to go Kamara.
Okay.
I'm going to go catches, yards, fun.
The only player in that offense.
How did Zeke go before Alvin? Come on.
He's getting a lot of looks
Bounce
right now.
year.
He every year he's been in the league, he's averaged over 21 fantasy points a game, except for last year. The whole offense fell on their face, in the sand last year when Dak went down, and they were on an unprecedented roll going into week 6 before he got hurt. So no, a lot of it's going to be what they looked at him last night. He lost 10 pounds. He looks good. They're talking positive, but there's nothing wrong with taking Zeke at that spot. I mean, I've said this many times before. You're not going to win it in round 1, but you can certainly lose it. You're not going to lose your fantasy league drafting Zeke over Kamara.
And sure, I might regret going Kamara over Henry, but I feel good about it. And
I don't think so.
He's fun to watch play.
Yeah,
and I like it.
You're good. You're good.
Tony, I'll try to carry on the legacy you had with Alvin Kamara for the past 4 years, 3 years,
4
that led to your championship.
You'll like it.
All right. So we will talk NFL fantasy football, but first, Shirley, let's hear from Mike Houston, what he had to say. First of all, before his opening comments, he had something to say to Brian Bailey in front of the cameras. He had something to say to the Pirate fans out there. Get your tickets, folks. Hear it from the horse's mouth. Here's Mike Houston today.
Hey, Pirate fans, get your tails out there and get your season tickets. We play in less than a month.
Get your tails out there and get your season tickets. Get your tails out there.
Tails.
It was a very
excitement time.
An emphatic tails. Get your tails out there and get your season tickets. Here were his opening comments after today's practice.
Good to get rid of the rain. So, day 3, first day putting shoulder pads on. I had a really, really sharp practice yesterday, second day in helmets, and would have been disappointed if it hadn't been. Today, some good and some bad. What you expect the first day back in pads, because you got to acclimate yourself to the full contact stuff from the waist up. But there's portions of practice that I thought were very, very impressive. I thought some guys offensively, some guys that we expect a lot from. I thought really had some good days out there today. So that was good to see. Ended with some field goal work, and the kicking competition is going to be important. You got 3 guys right now vying for the spot, and all 3 of them have looked pretty good the first couple of days. So it'll be good when we get into next week and we get to a full live rush. It's pretty live right now, but full live rush is what we really need to test those guys. But solid day's work today.
Houston, after day 3 of ECU football practice, Coach was also asked what he's pleased with after 3 days.
Well, I think number one, and I figure at some point we talk about this today, but I really think Holton's been very, very sharp. He's made very few mistakes, and today in particular, I thought he was very sharp with his checks. I thought he was putting the ball where it needs to be, and just a sharp start. But I thought the offense, the 1-0 line today at the beginning of the team period had a really, really clean start. So I thought that looked really good. I think our speed in the secondary is that's stood out. The improvement there, just how quickly we're breaking on the ball and the way we run. So a lot of positives right now.
All right, Mike Houston there. We'll hear more from Coach Houston coming up in hour number 5. Got his comments on how the wide receivers are looking, the tight ends, Ryan Jones specifically. Talks about the team's leadership group, the safety position, and a whole lot more. So that coming up later on in today's program. Guys, we are one NFL preseason game into the preseason calendar. And were you at that game?
No, I actually left the day of the game. I wanted to get back here in time to watch it on TV, but I did get to go to some of the festivities leading up to it. We went to the Hall of Fame. I took my family, as we always do, bought some things at the gift shop, and just took it all in. And fantasy and football, when you go up to Canton this week, it's in the air. It's palpable. You can sense that the season's on its way, and so we're just looking forward to it.
It does have to be pretty cool to see all those legends in one place. Did you see anybody in person while you were there?
My dad actually moved right outside Canton not too long ago, and so we're not stuck right in the middle of the city like we used to be. And of course, with him having been retired for a while, we haven't gone to the big time things like the luncheons and the gold jacket ceremony like we did when I was a teenager and in college, and a couple years after that. But again, going to some of the other little things that you see, taking the kids out and the parade and the hot air balloons and all the things that they do just leading up to the game Thursday. It's funny because when we first went, I took my wife when we were dating. It was actually the Panthers-Jaguars game, inaugural game, which was a Saturday afternoon.
I remember that. Yep.
And we still have a T-shirt from that. It was a Saturday afternoon. This is how far the NFL has come. And it was a 1 o'clock game, 2 o'clock game in the middle of the afternoon. And then I'd say 6-7 years later, they moved it to Sunday night. And of course, we have it as the last event of the entire week. Now, a couple years ago, they moved it back to Thursday night, which is now the opening ceremony event, where it used to be the gold jacket, the round table luncheon, and all the things that lead. So it's really odd that I've kind of seen all of this change that has taken over the course of the last decade to 20 years, where they've just kind of moved things around to make things different for the NFL. But yeah, we were talking about that on the way up about how everything it's still the same. You still get to go to all the events. They've just kind of moved things around a bit.
Did you see Edgerrin James's car?
No, I did not.
That thing is awesome. The Hall of Fame car he has going down is like, my man is got style here.
I love Edgerrin James. He is my favorite non-Redskins player.
Also, when I talk to CW, I feel like I barely like football in comparison.
Well, there's liking
palpable.
There's liking football, and then sometimes if you get too close and knowledgeable to a sport, you won't like it as much as if you are. Like when I watch the Hurricanes play, I don't know a ton about hockey, so I can just enjoy it. When I watch soccer, I don't know if they're doing good or bad,
it's just
so
fun.
I can enjoy it. Sometimes when I know what a guy's supposed to do and he doesn't, it's not as enjoyable.
Good point. I obviously have more fun than CW.
Dumb people are happier because they don't know any better.
Thanks, Clip.
I'll say this too. So I'm an English and history teacher. You're a history professor as well. If you go up to the Hall of Fame and it's not just looking at the field and the things that take the place of watching the game on Thursday night and maybe seeing some of the famous people there, when you walk around the Hall of Fame and you see some of these artifacts that have been around for 100 years and you just look at the history of it, I can tell you would understand what that is. It's incredible. You would love it.
I saw Chandler last night learn what, when and where the Hail Mary came from. Like his mind was blown.
Yeah,
please educate me on that.
It was actually I was about to bring that up, but it was when Roger Staubach threw to Drew Pearson, who's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend. Apparently, Roger Staubach, when he went to throw that football, closed his eyes and said Hail Mary.
He said he just threw it as hard as he could and said a Hail Mary. Even though he's not Catholic. No, I don't know.
That's what he said after the fact, and then that's where it was deemed.
And that's where it comes about.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
It was a prayer.
Was that you?
It was me. Yes.
Hail Mary.
Does that mean the draft's begun?
It has begun. We are in the ninth pick.
Ninth pick.
Yep.
All right. So very briefly, which never happens with CW. What do you want to happen at 9? Who do you want there?
Boom. We know we're going to lose the top 5 running backs, and as long as we have one of the, I would call it second tier running backs or first tier receivers. I mean, it's inevitable in pick 9. It's going to happen. I would love to see a Nick Chubb there if he's available, in any one of the 2 receivers or 3 receivers between Adams, Tyreek Hill, or Stephon Diggs. I'd prefer Hill and Adams over Diggs just a tad bit.
You're not going to go Kelsey that high.
And Kelsey's okay too.
I
certainly
think Diggs is going to blow it up this year. I think
he blew it up last year.
Yeah. I know. Well, I know he did, but I mean,
and you are anti.
I know
what happened last year.
Yeah.
You try to,
fight it.
I try to do the same thing you do, Tony. You want to get the guy who did not blow up last year, who's going to blow up this year.
Yeah.
But to your point, I don't see why Allen and Diggs don't go crazy again.
Did you just see the news?
Yeah, he got paid.
Good
Josh
Lord,
Allen.
$258 million contract, $150 million guaranteed. What I like about Diggs though is first there was a chemistry going on.
Any way you could cut that off?
Yes,
always
100%.
Thanks.
And then but my question is, Tyreek Hill, they held him out of some practice with knee tendonitis. So you're starting to try to read the tea leaves of who's going to be hurt, who's going to be healthy. Yeah. And Stephon Diggs was straight.
CW. Seriously, it sounds like Star Wars is happening in the background.
And I got you. I had to make a pick.
What do you do if a kid in your classroom's doing this?
I'd give him advice, to let him know who's picking.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Good point.
And then we would have a roundtable discussion.
PPR, half point. What do you do?
Yeah, let's talk about this before the next buzzer goes off.
I
had to make my pick.
That was such a good response. Like my brain didn't function it well. All right.
By the way, we just made the pick. Kelsey. He made it.
Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Over who?
We did have Hill and Diggs. Both were there. I was hoping that Jonathan Taylor would go. That would shore up a player that I thought might be there. Chubb went at 8.
Okay, so you were going to go Chubb.
Chubb was my first pick, but then when he made it there, I was passing on Barkley.
Thanks for telling me who I should pick at 11 when we get in our league. Actually, Chubb's probably a keeper in our league.
No,
he's not.
He's back. I had to put him back in the draft, unfortunately. All right, tell you what, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll see what's going on in Pantherland. Chandler said he's ready to go home, get some good food, and check out FanFest.
FanFest.
Is that tonight?
Tonight.
All right, we'll talk about that. We will have an ongoing fantasy draft. Is this a real league you're in?
Yeah, it's best ball. Mm-hmm.
All right,
paid money.
league.
Paid money.
All right, so we got to take this thing seriously.
Don't worry,
I always do.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot more to go on Pirate Radio Live. If you have an ECU question, fantasy football, NFL question or comment, chime in on Twitter or Facebook Live. We're back on a Free Beer Friday after this.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bell's Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique brew pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer, nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic's award-winning staff features a TPI golf specialist that offers assessments and rehab to help you get back on the course and playing your best.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
In studio today with Cold Cut, also known as Tony McKee to his friends and family. Why F3?
I come to F3 because it's family for me. My biological family, they're way out of town, and F3 has been a family, no joke. The fellowship and the camaraderie and being able to hold each other accountable, that certainly is important for young men that come our way. So I'm glad to be able to be a part of someone's life. And, you know, sometimes church is once a week, and F3 can be every day.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard. Take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and also air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, please visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. I had no intention of our long-form text draft beginning right before the show started, and CW has a money league going. All of a sudden, we have multiple fantasy football drafts going on in the studio as we get ready for preseason, which begins for every team next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and began last night with the Hall of Fame game, the Steelers beating the Dallas Cowboys. Did you see there is some news coming out of that game? And now I can't remember his first name. Washington from the Steelers.
James Washington.
James Washington has reportedly requested a trade. You know, it's funny. I did notice him in the second quarter or kind of later than Claypool and Deontay Johnson, and was like, James Washington, he's like a real NFL player. What's he doing in this game? Well, he didn't really like his standing, apparently, in the Steelers depth chart there, the wide receiver group, and has talked to the team about a trade.
And I remember him playing yesterday, too, and noticing what you noticed. And the funny thing is both passes that he had thrown to him by two different quarterbacks were way off the mark, and he had absolutely no opportunities to catch it.
There were a lot of those last night.
Right.
Throws behind players.
And you could see the frustration in him yesterday. And I woke up and did my exercises and started looking at the news, and then I noticed that he was not content with his role, and I can understand why after watching him yesterday.
I need to brag about how much you or do not work out. Just throwing that in there. So that was a story. I didn't think we'd have many storylines other than injuries coming off of the Hall of Fame game, but apparently there's that. Did you watch the game with the Fantasy Eye last night, CW, and learn anything? Can you learn anything from these preseason games at all?
Yeah, learn by not overdrafting guys just because they were in the first preseason week. I mean, you just gotta temper your expectations. I did want to see how the offensive line for Pittsburgh looked, and I actually thought they looked pretty good. I mean, there were several cases.
We saw Najee Harris run.
Not only did he look pretty good in the few carries that he had, it looked like they weren't touching him the moment he had the ball in his hand, which is what was happening last year. And they were much worse of a pass blocking offensive line than they were run blocking. But I'm not going to move Najee Harris up 5 spots, but at the same time, they looked a little bit more promising than what maybe I had envisioned. And Dallas's front line isn't great. Obviously, they're not one of the top defenses of the league, so you also have to take that into account.
Tony, Chandler, what's going on in Panthers land this week?
Well, like Chandler said earlier, tonight is Fan Fest, which is the big event at Bank of America Stadium where they have a kind of a full-on practice and the fans are out there. And right now, I think that we're all just continuing to look at Sam Darnold's progression at quarterback. I mean, I think that is the number one story when it comes to Carolina going forward, and will determine our success this season. Is all roads lead back to Sam Darnold, to the point where every pick that's thrown in training camp is catching some national news at this point. But right now, I think all signs are pretty good when it comes to the way Carolina's camp is going, which is very vanilla, and that's what you want to hear.
Yesterday, we had Emery Hunt on the show from CBS Sports HQ, and it sounds pretty basic to say, well, it all depends on Darnold. But he said, Tony, he loves the roster they have put around the quarterback right now. He loves the way they have bolstered their defense in the last year and a half. It happened pretty quickly. He likes the weapons there. It all comes down to Darnold. That's kind of the consensus.
Does it work or not?
Yeah. Chandler?
As simple as that. I mean, the pressure has got to be on Sam Darnold, knowing that he has the weapons that he never had in New York. So basically the pressure's on.
Yeah, and we do have offensive weapons. That is the story there, is that, DJ Moore continues to shine. Robbie Anderson is as fast as can be. And you can now add Dan Arnold to the mix, which seems like an important red zone threat and might be, a fantasy option at tight end this year.
Also, Terrace Marshall Jr. is also making a name for himself in this year's training camp.
And then Christian McCaffrey back, and, there's a reason that you didn't pick him number 1 in the draft, because somebody kept him.
Yeah, CW, when we look at what the Panthers have, the Falcons are certainly an enigma. And what about the Saints?
We have no idea.
The Michael Thomas news. I know I asked you this just a couple weeks ago, but remind me again, who is the number 2 team in that division? You still go Saints?
I think it's Carolina.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean that way myself.
Yep.
I don't like to say it out loud, but I could.
But you like other people to say it.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, there are a ton of question marks with all those teams. I think there's more knowns with Carolina than there are with the other ones.
Did you guys see Jameis Winston falling down going through the...
everything he does looks awkward and funny for whatever reason. His pregame speech is eating a W. The way he fumbles the ball with nobody around him, and now we added a new one running through the
pads.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through so smoothly, like nothing's wrong, and then there he is, like
freaking pinballing.
They are beating him down.
Well, one of the things with the Saints that you don't want to over forecast or over speculate, but the Panthers were very good through 2017, and then in an instant just became very old really quickly. And that's something that you could see happening to the Saints as well as you're starting to look at some of their defensive line, which has been very formidable over the last 2 years. Rankins is a nice or coming back from an injury, but at the same time, is Cameron Jordan, how long can he continue to be that dominant player? And if that defense does have to kind of step up more than they've had to in the past because of the offense being without Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and is Michael Thomas the weapon that we truly, think of him as, or is he just a very fancy possession receiver at this point? So you look at all those factors, and the Saints should be the number 2 on paper, but you could see a flip-flop coming, or a potential flip-flop coming.
CW, I got Dalvin Cook, and I'm looking at his years. I thought it was 2019, but it might have been 2018 when he played in 11 games. He played in 14 and 19, 14 last year, and he was unbelievable last year. I bring him up because I saw a headline that says, Joe Mixon ready to roll after injury-marred season. It is really tough to trust and to spend a high pick on a guy like Mixon who's missed a lot of time. The talent's there. My question is, at what point, when do you take Joe Mixon in 2021?
Well, I do think he's in that tier after the top. I kind of put the tier. A lot of people like to call the first round draft, the first round running backs as tier 1, and to me, I don't think there's a tier 1. I think there's a tier 1 and a tier 2. I put Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, and Christian McCaffrey in one tier, and then I put some of the other guys following them in tier 2. So I kind of put Joe Mixon in the tier 3 for my account.
Behind Elliott, Kamara.
Has Joe Mixon ever been a top running back there?
He has been drafted as one by myself. Yeah. I know that much.
And obviously part of the reason why he hasn't done so well is how the offense has progressed or regressed, I guess, over the years that he's been there. And you're right, a lot of it is more promise than what we've actually seen. But we know this. He is a 3-down back, or he can be a 3-down back. I think last year he was heading towards that. He was definitely worth of a late first, early round, second round pick until he got hurt. So the key to a running back who is drafted in the late first, early second, or even mid-second, where I think he's going now, is volume. And who do they have behind him? They don't have anybody behind him. He is a pass catcher. Gio Bernard went to Tampa. So right now, if you think he's going to be on the field 3 downs for most of the season, and again, we cannot talk about injuries. That's one thing you cannot do unless you have a guy who's just been so injury plagued, like a Sammy Watkins, or somebody like that. But other than that, you don't really try to predict injuries. If he's going to be on the field for 3 downs most of the time, he is going to get the volume, and he will be worth a late first, early second pick.
I mean, I'm looking at it now. His best year was 2018, where he had over 1,100 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, almost 300 receiving yards and a touchdown. And he followed that up with 278 attempts, where he only had 1,100 yards. That speaks to how bad the Bengals were before getting Burrow.
Right.
5 touchdowns. So he's put up numbers that would suggest that he's going to get the volume and he's going to produce. It's just a matter of this point. Played 6 games last year, which he had played in at least 14 his first 3 years. So maybe last year is an anomaly, and he will be a guy that will produce this year.
And look at, too, you're talking about a quarterback who got hurt in, I think, week 10 or 11. He tore his ACL and his MCL. The beat writers in Cincinnati have been talking about from camp about how he has been extremely careful with his knee and running the ball. And what I remember watching the highlights from Cincinnati last year, yes, he threw a bunch of touchdowns, but I recall a lot of runs that he made into the end zone. I want to say he maybe ran for anywhere from 3 to 4 touchdowns. I don't think you're going to see that with him, knowing that he is being extremely careful. In fact, they said the passing offense looks a lot weaker than what they anticipated at this point, if you talk to the beat writers. And so that spells to me that they're going to really rely on Joe Mixon. So to your point, too, we were talking off the air about a pick that you might be picking, where you might be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of a Nick Chubb or a Joe Mixon. And Nick Chubb is obviously the best running back of the two. In fact, you could argue he's the best running back in football. But you do have a Kareem Hunt that Joe Mixon doesn't have in the back. So there is something to be said about that decision that you might have to make there.
Tony, who do you want to fall to you at that spot?
I think Saquon Barkley.
Looks like we have another pick, Nick Chubb.
That's who I'm hoping for.
That's your home run hit.
I am hoping, because, again, I think who's behind him is another good question. And
Devon Booker. Now, they did sign, Wayne Gallman went to San Francisco, so they let him go. But they did sign another running back to a former Washington football team, Alfred Wilson. Alfred Morris, excuse me.
Who signed him?
The Giants. Now, whether or not he gets cut by preseason game number 4, that remains to be seen. But they did throw another body into that
I don't
fold.
think it matters who's behind Barkley. If he's healthy and playing, he is going to be McCaffrey light as far as touches go.
I think one of the weaknesses for Saquon is just third down and passing situations because of pass blocking. He's not been a good blocking running back, and so sometimes they've cycled him out for that.
And I don't think, to my point, going back, Cliff, I wasn't trying to suggest that maybe he was going to steal carries as the third running back on the team. It is watch what these coaches and these GMs do, especially with an injured player. We all know that they are going to casually bring him back. That doesn't mean you can't win a fantasy league with him if you like him at that pick. But we also know that if they're going to keep him on the roster, there's something to be said about that, about how much they're going to actually want to play him in this particular
season. What about Aaron Jones? What do you guys think about him?
Well, he's been one running back and one player in the first 2 rounds that has shot up his ADP since Aaron Rodgers came back. He's actually shot up more than Devontae Adams. Now, Devontae Adams has been a mainstay in the first round. He has moved up about 3 positions since Aaron Rodgers had decided to come back last Tuesday. But we went from a mid to late second round pick to I just did a draft early last night, and he was pick number 6 overall. So you were talking about an entire round basically moving up, because he was a mid-second round pick, when Aaron Rodgers had possibly decided not to come back to camp. So
I think Aaron Jones would be a terrible pick for you, Tony, because he's already kept in our league.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason.
You'll still get information, though.
CW Sloan, Tony Dunn here hanging out in the Pirate Radio studios. How's your draft going over there, CW?
I've been put on auto pick due to inactivity. I guess after talking with you, I don't know if that was probably the best way to go.
Couldn't hear it bang.
So you went Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Who was your third pick?
So Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and I came back around with Josh Jacobs. So because we needed a running back. Oh, no, I'm taking that back. I actually went for 0 running back here. I went CeeDee Lamb in the 3rd round, and especially with the news with Amari Cooper.
What's the Amari Cooper news?
So his doctors have taken quite a bit of look at what's going on with his foot, and I can tell you that it's
not good.
Scares me. No, not good at all. I think his name was, I'm trying to remember the name of the doctor, David Polk. I can't remember the last name of this guy.
The only doctor we know is Dr. James Andrews.
Yeah, and that wasn't the type of injury that he sustained. But the injuries are showing that he is really slow to recovery. And, Michael Gallup has been running with the ones this entire preseason up to this point. And, of course, Dallas had to get a head start a little bit because of the Hall of Fame game, so they've been in pads a little bit longer than most of the other teams. It just doesn't look good when you are back and forth into this rehab. And it was at the end of last year when he was still hurt, and we still haven't seen a healthy Amari Cooper in quite some time. So he's been following a draft anyway. A lot of people have been keeping up with this news, so this is not really breaking news at this point. But it does shoot Michael Gallup up a tad, a couple rounds, and certainly Amari Cooper down about 2 or 3.
All right, Tony does. He needs a running back, but he needs everything. I mean, if Travis Kelce's there, are you not considering him at all?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Does that
really.
get much of a game changer just to have
CW just took him 9 in a redraft, in a draft where nobody's kept.
So
kept.
Once again, and again, we do have a little bit of a difference here in this type of draft because this is a keeper draft, and you've got a lot of different intangibles that come into play.
Yeah.
But when you talk about your first round pick, you just don't want a guy that will lose you your league. It doesn't mean he's going to be the number 1, number 2, or even number 5 or 6 fantasy go-getter in this particular round. You don't want him to be
hurt
27th or 30th.
Kelsey's less risky than a running back.
Yeah.
True or false?
Not only is it true, he arguably he's actually safer than Christian McCaffrey. If you go, it's a true statement.
Tony, we're handing you another championship.
Okay. I want to know.
He is
but
a safer.
I like
pick.
the
He's
San
not the best
Francisco tight end even more.
Well, he's already been taken.
Captain.
Yeah, you need to get that list.
And he's been
It's
hurt
so
2 of the last
long.
3 years.
It's so long.
It is. Look, if you want to be our champion, you got to represent the league as a champion.
You're right. You're right.
Let's take a time out. We'll
Holy
come back.
cow.
We'll have more. Tony's got a lot going on right now in his brain.
And I'm picking next, so I need to get off this one for just a minute because I got to focus on our draft now.
We are totally nerd festing out here in the Pirate Radio studios on Free Beer Friday and Hawaiian Shirt Friday. We'll take a time out, come back, talk more NFL. We got Mike Houston comments coming up later on in today's show. We'll also talk to Cory Scott, the head coach of the Greenville Little League All-Stars. Got a win earlier today. We'll find out what's next for them down in Warner Robins. They're 2 wins away. If they win their next 2, they are heading to Williamsport and the Little League World Series. More to go on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
University PC Care has been busier than ever repairing personal PC and Mac computers and iPhones during this pandemic. And we thank you for your support. Now, with everyone streaming and doing work from school and home, you may have discovered that your home Wi-Fi just isn't cutting it. It may be time to upgrade your home network, and University PC Care can help. To make a network assessment appointment and discover upgrade options that fit your home, go to talktowilliam.com or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's poppin'. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you, Hour 1, Pirate Radio Live, Free Beer Friday, Football Friday here on the show. We talk NFL every Friday with Tony Dunn from CarolinaCatChronicles.com. CW Sloan has been hanging out during his summer off. When do you start back teaching again?
I go back Friday.
Next Friday?
Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, a week from today.
And when do the kids show up?
They'll show up on the 23rd, which is a Monday. So we'll have a weekend after my first day and then a full week's worth to go. Open house. And then we're ready to roll.
We will have a best of show next Friday. Tony, you're off
as well.
Where are you going?
Mexico.
I'm going to somewhere just as exotic, New Jersey.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so New Jersey.
What's up there?
My mother-in-law.
Oh, cool.
And my wife's family.
Nice.
And a lot of farmland. Mm-hmm. It's more farmland than it's around here. I was assuming when I made my first trip, it would be like the intro to The Sopranos.
Or Boardwalk Empires.
Yeah, it's not that. It is just like growing up in Winterville, to be honest with you. The people just talk a little different. So, got that coming up. We have a fantasy draft going on as we speak. The big dog is on the clock. Travis Kelce just went, Tony, so you don't have that decision to make. You've got 2 picks to be made, and then you will select. And then CW will make a pick, and you'll have another one. So.
Sort of. Actually, yeah. You're right. I do have one. I have one already thrown in there for me. Yep.
And we assume you are going to go running back because right now you have a quarterback, Justin Herbert, and Tyreek Hill, receiver, on your roster.
I go at this point. Well, no, it's not a fact. I'll go by value, and right now the value of running backs are dwindling in this round based on the keepers that have already been kept, and obviously the first 2 tiers that have already gone before me. But
so you're going best available.
I'm going best available in the first round. I mean, I'm going to stick to that philosophy, which is, you don't have to always hit the home run in the first round. Just don't screw it up. Don't screw your first round pickup.
But in our league, running backs get thin really, really quickly.
They do.
And that's the hard part. I've missed and tried to push the running back and get in that second tier, and it's a long season.
Let me ask you a question. 3 years ago, who was your first round running back? Do you remember your first pick you took that was a running back?
I don't think I have had to in years because I've just had Kamara in my back pocket.
And you won why last year?
Because he had 7 touchdowns in the final game.
He had 6, but
like 7.
But you didn't draft him as your first pick. You actually stole him
His rookie year.
His rookie year in the 14th round.
Awesome.
And it translated not that year or even the year after, but it took a couple of times. The way that this kind of draft goes, you're typically not going to win or lose the championship. None of these guys are really going to be the difference. I mean, if you think about the difference in points between Travis Kelce and Ezekiel Elliott, their best years, Ezekiel Elliott was just a shy above Travis Kelce as their top positions at their spot. So, like I said, I prescribe to just don't lose your league in the first round.
I did pick Jonathan Taylor last year in the first round. It was a slow start, but boy,
that helped
he came out
during the playoff run, right?
Yes, exactly.
There you go. Yep.
By the way, we haven't discussed this. We're going to have to move the playoffs, I guess, to week
17.
Week 17 championship.
15, 16,
semifinals,
17.
16, first round, 15.
Yep. That's the best way to do it.
We will do that. We are announcing publicly right now. All right. Let's see. Any NFL news and notes this week? The Deshaun Watson stuff.
Rumored to be heating up trade talks with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Now, if you're the Eagles, you can't really pull the trigger unless you know he's going to be available to play, correct?
Yeah. It makes
You can't
sense
give
to me.
up
Not for the
3
price
first
tag they're
rounders.
asking, no.
So, I don't know. Like, when is the decision going to be made on Watson? What is his stat? Like, that whole thing is way up in the air.
And why isn't the NFL acting faster on this?
Well, what are they?
Well, right now,
What are the options right now?
The NFLPA can't really do anything to him other than if the Texans want to hold him back to keep him from getting injured to make sure his trade value stays what it is, then the Texans can do that.
It's the biggest problem right now. He doesn't want to be a Texan.
And he didn't want to be a Texan even when all of this
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
If he was just regularly happy with his team,
right,
he'd be practicing right now.
Correct.
And everything would be normal.
Right.
So from that standpoint, the Eagles could go ahead and make a trade because he's available to play week 1.
Right. But the question is, if Philadelphia decides to do that and they get this transcendent talent along with Jalen Hurts, but at the same time, the NFL finds all of the stuff that comes back around legally, and they don't have him for 2021. Was it still worth it? That's the question that they're going to decide. Do they give Jalen Hurts a year, and let's figure out what we have between the two quarterbacks?
Right.
And if he pans out, then we either have trade value for Deshaun Watson or we trade Jalen Hurts. So,
is there any possible world, though, where Deshaun Watson doesn't have some sort of punishment associated with
he
this?
could be suspended the entire year.
Right.
If you go back to Ben Roethlisberger.
Wait, but I think to answer your question, yes.
Really? Like he can just play a full season?
If they settle out of court and he pays a bunch of money and it's all gone, then yeah.
But
I don't know how likely that is. But
you're
I
saying,
think
could he play a whole season?
No, I'm saying, is there a world where there's zero
no
punishment? Because like Greg
From the
Hardy,
league.
Greg Hardy got put on the commissioner non-exempted list, and all of his stuff got dismissed. Yeah, charges were filed,
So
but
let's
it
say-
ultimately was dismissed. So it's like,
let's say he settles out of court. Would Roger Goodell say, "Okay, you're out 4 weeks, 6 weeks"? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Like,
I mean, I feel like there has to be some sort of punishment.
And I don't know how long this, I had to add the number of years this was, but if you remember when Roethlisberger had some similar incidences, and it was really with one female, not with many.
He got a 4-game suspension.
He was suspended for a third of the season almost. So I don't see how.
Okay, but Tony, maybe I'll change my answer to there will be some sort of suspension.
If not, then it really kind of just shows you the farce of the whole NFL punishment system. And not that I do like the have your day in court type mentality. Let's not jump ahead of things. But the NFL has set a precedent in intervening and being quick to punish over the last 5 years rather than let's hold back and see how it's going. And that's really been the kind of odd part of this whole storyline, is that the NFL has just taken a time out on this and saying we're not getting into it yet, because originally they said they were launching an investigation and some things like that. Nothing. It's just been crickets about it.
And I think one major point that we need to also throw out as far as why the NFL is doing that is that there is a rather large difference between civil cases and criminal cases. And so far, they have not had any criminal charges yet. And I think that's the biggest
They keep
issue.
saying they're coming, though.
And once that happens, I think that's when we see, the hammer come down on him, at least marginally, for the 2021 season. But let's say you're the Eagles and you know that he's suspended for 4 games. Let's give that number based on Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah, do the trade right now.
Do you do the trade, and you have 2 quarterbacks that could potentially, one of them be in possible trade discussions even for 2022?
Yeah, I think you go ahead and do it at that point. A couple of questions. In a regular redraft league, no keepers, no nothing, startup, is Trevor Lawrence valuable as a fantasy quarterback this year?
Yes. In fact, if you notice a lot of Jacksonville buzz coming around between DJ Chark, Chenault, Travis Etienne, James Robinson, and Trevor Lawrence, I do think at some point, maybe not in the first couple of weeks, as all quarterbacks are going to do, they're going to start off slow, rookie quarterbacks. But I do think there's something there in Jacksonville. There's a little bit of a buzz. You are talking about the worst division in football if you go from top to bottom in terms of the defenses and the overall play.
Yeah.
So I do think Trevor Lawrence, he was picked number one for a reason. So I do think there is something to be said about having him as your number one quarterback. If you decide to wait to draft a quarterback that late and Trevor Lawrence is your number one, you need to have a stacked roster, though. You need to make sure that you hit on all those different misses that you decided to pass on quarterback-wise because you waited for Trevor Lawrence. Personally, I don't know that I'm going to go that route. I feel like I can start a better team by having him as my backup. But at the same time, if you feel confident doing that, especially in a 10-team league, 12-team league, it's going to get a little dicey to have that. But in a 10-team league, I certainly think he's viable as a guy that you want to have on your roster.
I did a mock draft, a 12-team, just like our league set up, but obviously the keepers weren't factored into that, and he went in the 9th.
Yeah.
I thought that was even early.
Is that a 12-team or
12-team?
Yeah, that's actually about. Well, and again, if you look at the tiers of where he's going, he's just going after Joe Burrow.
I was going to say,
Ryan
do you remember
Tannehill.
who was like
Kirk Cousins went after him?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins has been. I haven't seen a draft where Lawrence has gone after Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins had 35 touchdowns last year. But this is again talking about touchdowns in fantasy. They're anomalies at times. You are going to see regression out of certain teams and certain players in terms of touchdowns. He's certainly one that I think is going to regress.
He's still got some good receivers there, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they are a top 5 run team, so I don't know that they're going to have to pass quite as much as they
how
did
about
last year.
this? Here's a tough one. Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Really?
100%.
Why? With all the weapons in Carolina we were just talking about?
Yeah, and
I mean, there's really not one weapon on the Jacksonville Jaguars team that's super proven.
For Jacksonville. No, I mean...
they're exciting, but yeah, I agree. They're not proven.
Would you also agree that, and we're talking about fantasy as opposed to how good the team is, Jacksonville's probably going to be down a lot more than Carolina, right? So you're going to see a lot more throwing from Trevor Lawrence in third and fourth quarters than you are. The pass catchers in Jacksonville are not as bad as we think. Between Marvin Jones, and I'm not comparing them necessarily top to bottom.
That's our guy.
But
I love Marvin.
Marvin Jones.
He was on my team last year. He was great.
Jones, Chenault, and DJ Chark are actually probably in the top half of the league and not the bottom half if you talk about wide receivers 1, 2, and 3 together.
What about Carr or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Holy moly.
Now that's when you get into a really bad receiving core.
11.
A really bad receiving core in Las Vegas. I mean, Henry Ruggs is your number 1.
Hey, Zay Jones has got.
What about
Brian Edwards is your number 2 receiver? I mean, yeah,
young and potential.
And I think he's caught 22 total passes. I mean, they've got the youngest wide receiver 1 or 2 in the league. They got two second-year guys, both of whom caught less than 50 balls combined. The only guy that you really need to worry about in Las Vegas is Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs at this point. Between that entire offense, everybody else is practically undraftable.
One more question: does the Wentz news, the Quentin Nelson news, certainly doesn't help, but the Wentz news, does that help or hurt Jonathan Taylor as a running back?
Absolutely hurts him. And the reason for that is a lot of people may look at that as, they're going to run the ball more. Well, guess what? They're also going to be punting more. They're going to be in the red zone a whole lot less. The whole entire offense, when you talk about a Jacob Eason-led team, is going to hurt. Michael Pittman, look really good in camp this year. He's going to fall. Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, all of them are going to get fewer opportunities to score in this particular case. And when you lose not only a starting quarterback, but also the best offensive line or offensive tackle in football, you're going to see something that hurts this entire offense. But if you were to say which one is worse, I think it's the Carson Wentz injury more so than the Quentin Nelson. I think when you talk about the quarterback play, they're going to be in a lot of situations where they got to throw, especially third downs. And when they don't make those completions, what's happening? They're rolling the punt team out on the field. And so, no, I don't feel like Jonathan Taylor is a first-round draft choice at this point.
I know everybody's not into this, but I could literally do fantasy football talk all damn day.
Well, I've got more questions. Is there any value at running back on the Buffalo Bills this year?
Man, that's Oh, that's a garbage fire. When you talk about Zach Moss and Daryl Singletary, I would stay away from the run game. If you're talking about a deep 12-team league and you want to make a flyer at one of those two guys, but again, at the end of the day, Buffalo, makes its hay through what? Through passing the football downfield. And Gabriel Davis is going to improve. I think Stephon Diggs is going to get over 140 targets more than likely. And
the only
of course,
runner
you got Josh Allen.
You want for Buffalo is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
What about now?
We're out of time, Tony, by the way. But go ahead and ask one more.
Cam Akers, now that he's hurt, what do you do? What are you doing if you're the Rams?
Henderson.
Daryl Henderson right now is going somewhere in the mid to late fourth round. I do like him at that particular spot. I don't think you're going to get extreme value out of him because you don't quite know. Let's also bear in mind one team wants to get rid of a running back. Another team has his college coach, and that is Wisconsin's old running back coach is at the Rams. Don't be surprised if you see a trade from Melvin Gordon. If you don't see Daryl Henderson do really well, that might be a free agent pickup that you get later.
Because the Broncos
Javonte Williams from North Carolina. Yeah, really good running back.
And don't they have another one they like too?
I'm not sure.
Or is it all Williams?
Yeah, I mean, Javonte Williams, they like the two-headed monster they have there, but you also have a large contract that's eventually going to come to fold for Denver. And Melvin Gordon, is not he's not going to burn things up out there in that particular offense. Honestly, Denver's really in trouble in my opinion. I think they're on their way down.
That's what happens when you get Teddy Bridgewater.
We are out of time. Check out the Panthers C3 podcast Tuesday nights on YouTube with Tony Dunn and crew. CW, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, man.
We'll try to get you on again before you have to officially head back to school. So
love to.
All right, good deal. Let's. By the way, Glenn's really struggling with this pick right now.
He's driving.
He's driving, and he does not know what to do about Saquon Barkley. Should he pull the trigger?
Don't do it.
He's struggling. We will take a timeout, come back. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live on the way. We're back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Professional wrestler Action Mike Jackson.
As soon as I walked out of that ring and back to the dressing room, the boss came to me and said, "Look, can you do the next 3 TV tapings for us?" I think they thought 71 years old, I'll just go out there and wallow around and not do anything. But, I'm diving through ropes. I'm walking the top rope. I'm doing Hurricanrana head scissors. And it amazed them. And the whole locker room came out and gave me a standing ovation.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Griffel's Biomat USA. At Griffel's, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifflesplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Griffel's Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Fruitopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Order in-store or online through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you here on Pirate Radio Live on a free beer Friday. Got a great giveaway coming up in hour number 3. How about a 12-pack of Bud Light Retro Summer Seltzers and a 12-pack of Bud Light Citrus Variety Pack? It can be yours along with some other goodies if you are the caller we ask for, and caller in hour number 3. All right, let's talk some golf as Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show joins us here on a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Greenie, how you doing today?
Doing good, Clip. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, and I guess we've got multiple events going on to follow right now, Greenie, as Harold Varner III is participating in the Barracuda Championship. And as a non-golf savant, I am having issues reading this leaderboard where the leader is sitting at plus 29. So, Mark, tell us about the Barracuda Championship going on in California and the scoring format for this tournament.
Yeah, this is one of those where they call it a modified Stableford system, where you're getting points for eagles and birdies added onto your score, and you lose points for bogeys and double bogeys. So if you make worse than a double bogey, you're losing 2 points. So double or worse is 2 points. Bogey is 1 point taken away. And then birdies get 2, eagles get 4, and double eagles get 8, or albatross. So you want to make a lot of birdies in this one and not a lot of doubles.
So, Greenie, while this is going on, I guess there's another tournament going on as well, a bigger tournament, the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational going on. Harris English at 13 under par. So, looks like the big names are participating in this event, right?
Yeah, that is correct. This is one of your 4 WGC events that we get every year, although they have just announced the schedule coming out for the start of the next wraparound season, and actually this WGC event will go away as a WGC event, and it will become the first playoff event of the schedule. So some interesting changes going on with the schedule as we head towards a September post playoffs this year and right before the Ryder Cup.
Any other significant or changes, Greenie, that you saw that on this new schedule for next season?
Yeah, actually, with the PGA Tour doing a little investment into the European Tour, and I know you and I have talked previously about this other Saudi Arabian-backed tour trying to steal some players away. The PGA Tour and the European Tour kind of announced a few co-events that they're going to sanction as well. So you'll see the Scottish Open, that is traditionally the event that the guys sometimes go over to before the British Open Championship. The Scottish Open is an official PGA Tour event. They're also going to move where the Arnold Palmer Invitational is an invitational tournament. They're going to move over and have a co-event with that one as well. So there's a few minor changes, and then I think they also put some money into the Irish Open to kind of make that a bigger event. So that's going to have a big-time purse as well. So you'll probably see a lot more of the PGA Tour players going over to the Irish Open.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show. They'll keep you up to date on what's going on this weekend in the tournaments. And also, Greeny looking ahead to the Wyndham Championship in North Carolina. It'll be in Greensboro coming up next week. HV3 will be participating in that. And I did see somebody comment that this is the best field they've seen in a while for the Wyndham Championship. Have you got a look at that, Greeny? What golfers are going to be in North Carolina next week?
Well, we don't get the official field today until 5 o'clock or till I think at some point after play today or something along those lines. So we won't know the exact 100% field. But, yeah, so far it looks like a pretty good field. I mean, we've got some guys on the outside looking in. I mean, coming into this week, Ricky Fowler, for instance, was number 125 on the list. So he obviously has to come play to make sure that, he tries to keep enough points to stay in the top 125. So that's kind of what you look at is who's near 125. I kind of look at the guys from like 120 to like 130. And traditionally what we do see is we see most of the time like maybe one or two guys fall out and one or two guys fall in and work their way in. So despite the fact that we kind of look for some volatility, there generally isn't a whole lot traditionally. So you'll see maybe a couple guys fall out and a couple guys get in. So that's the big thing because it is the final regular season event.
Greeny, are you paying attention to the women's golf going on in the Olympics right now?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that weather's going to play out. I know they had a little bit of issue that they were talking about, maybe only getting 3 rounds in and maybe not even getting the 4th round in. But as it stands right now, we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen as we creep closer to this later on this evening. But yeah, Nelly Korda with a 3-shot lead right now, so looking pretty good. She struggled a little bit yesterday, but kind of figured it out down the stretch and was able to kind of maintain that lead a little bit. So will be interesting to see because Aditi Ashok, that's in second place, don't really know a whole lot about her. But Lydia Ko and Hannah Green and a couple others down in third place. So if you remember, we had a 7-player playoff in the men's last week for the bronze medal, and it's kind of shaping up the same way again this week.
Greeny, we talked about it last week and earlier this week on the show. Mike Mullis joined us, and we were talking about what to do maybe to make the golf event better in the Olympics. And we were throwing out the obvious ideas. A team event would be fantastic, but even Mullis said a co-ed event. Maybe have 2 women, 2 men paired up in a foursome for each country and go at it that way. There's so many options to make it better than it is now, where it's just a single individual kind of regular tournament event.
Yeah, anything different I think we're all craving for. I mean, we get enough 4-day, 72-hole events. I think we do want to see something better. I also think the team aspect would be a great thing. I mean, you could have multiple things. You could figure out a way to have an individual men's champion, an individual women's champion, a team men's and women's champion, and then you could have also a mixed championship. So there's a lot of different options out there. I mean, you're giving yourselves 2 weeks to do it. You would think that there'd be some kind of option that they could figure out to combine the two of them, whether it's, one plays 1 week and one plays the next week, and somewhere in between there, maybe you do a 36-hole team, a mixed team event. I mean, there's definitely options, and it just seems like that we have not taken enough time to figure out what's going to appeal to the masses from this, because we all have said it's not 72 holes of stroke play.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us. Greeny, what you got planned for Saturday's edition of the Golf Shop Radio Show?
Well, our usual check-in with Bill Bender of the Sporting News. Then we've got the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship going on. So we are going to check in with Julia Pine to find out how things are going there. Usually we get to check in on a semifinal or a championship match on a Saturday morning, depending on how their weather goes. And then to your point, we got the Wyndham Championship coming up. So we're going to talk to Mark Brazel, the tournament director, and check in. And we'll have a final field when we talk to him tomorrow morning. So we'll talk all about the tournament, who's going to be in, who's going to be out, and who's on the bubble for the playoffs.
And Greeny will mix in a little football talk with you as we get closer and closer to the start of college football and NFL. The Clemson Tigers win total in 2021 is 11.5. Will the Tigers run the table, or will they slip up and lose one? If you had to put some peanuts on it, Greeny, would you go over under 11.5 for your Tigers?
I think they're going to run through the ACC. I think they're going to win the championship in the ACC, win the championship game. I honestly think the Clemson-Georgia game is going to be a really good game, but I think out of the gate, I think Clemson has the advantage. I think if you played that game a little bit later in the season, I think I'd be a little more concerned about Georgia, only because of the fact that a lot of these teams are looking to put new quarterbacks and people in play, and Clemson's basically returning all of their guys on defense, even though they got torched by Ohio State. All these guys coming back with a little bit of experience. And we got to see our man DJ play 2 high-profile games last year and threw for 400 yards in each of those games with a bad shoulder. So I think he's got to step up on anybody that Georgia rolls out at quarterback. So I'm going for the run the table and then get us into the semifinal.
All right, there you go. You heard it from Greeny. Mark Greenhalgh joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Greeny, appreciate your time and have a great weekend, a great show tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Clip. Have a good weekend, too.
All righty, there is Greeny joining us today on the Fix and See Live line. Not a great HV3 update as he is right now. Again, he's got 4 points. He's +4 in this weird format that I'm not accustomed to. The projected cut is 7, +7. So he needs basically, 3 birdies, a birdie and an eagle in the last 3 holes as he is through 15 today, tied for 81st at the Barracuda Championship. Presented, if the Barracuda Championship was presented by a rock band, Shirley Rhodes, what band would be presenting that? Little music trivia here.
Oh, that's easy. Heart.
Heart is correct. Barracuda. We've got
one of the greatest guitar riffs you'll ever hear.
All right, let's take a time out. Chandler, nothing?
No, I like that song.
Okay. We will
but don't ruin it for me.
Good point. Hey, who sings that? Heart. We'll let them do it. Classic line to use. When you don't like
how about let them sing it?
Let them sing it.
There you go. All right, when we return, Brett Kennedy. We like him, Chandler.
Because he's awesome.
He is Mr. Excitement. Very enthusiastic. He'll get you ready for a sports weekend. We'll talk some Pirate football, some area high school football, and more with WCTI 12's Brett Kennedy when we roll on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
When fun finally returns, Bud Light legends don't just come back. They come roaring back, carrying a cooler full of Bud Lights, an inflatable dolphin, and those Velcro pads with the balls that stick to them. And this summer, with a cooler at their side, they're gonna make up for all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has a saltwater heated pool, perfect for athletes with ankle and knee injuries, that will allow you to start training and running sooner during the recovery period.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium, 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2 item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Hey Birdland, on Saturday, August 7th, when the O's take on the Rays, join us to celebrate our favorite mascot, the Oriole Bird, with a bobblehead giveaway. Be one of the first 20,000 fans, 15 and over, to receive the Oriole Bird Mascot Hall of Fame bobblehead presented by Pepsi. And arrive early for the pregame ceremony celebrating this year's Orioles Hall of Fame inductees, including J.J. Hardy, Mike Devereaux, Joe Angel, and Mo Gaba. Visit the Orioles Ticket Marketplace at Orioles.com/tickets to buy now.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's bow time. The new Bo's Chicken Sandwich isn't just any chicken sandwich. We took our time perfecting this bold seasoned, hand-breaded, certified Southern powerhouse. Pile that big league buttered milk crunch with crispy pickles and creamy mayo for a chicken sandwich so good, you'll forget your mic is hot.
Now over to you, John.
Tomorrow we are going to set a record.
It's so looking good.
Try the new Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you. Still a lot to go here on a free beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We've got Morgan Ahlers joining us at 5 o'clock. We got Cory Scott going to join us on the Fixed NC Live line at 5:05. His Greenville Little League All-Stars were winners earlier today. 2 wins away. If they win the next 2, they are going to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. We'll talk to Cory in hour number 3. We will make you a winner in hour 3. Also, a lot of Mike Houston comments to get to. Following today's ECU football practice number 3 for fall camp for the Pirates is in the book. So we'll hear from Coach Houston later on. We'll talk a little Pirate football and more right now with Brett Kennedy, WCTI 12. He joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brett, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Clip. Hanging in there, man. You know, when Brian North takes his usual vacation before football season starts, everything gets a little crazy. But that's all right. I'm holding it down. I'm holding down the fort.
Appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time on a busy Friday. Your Fridays, I guess, are about to get even busier here in a few weeks, Brett. We've been talking some area high school football on the show. Had Will Bland from J.H. Rose on last week, Nate Connor from D.H. Conley this week. So you guys getting your prep work in for another high school football season?
Yeah, we're getting ready to vamp up on that. I'm going to try to swing by South Lenoir High School today and get their practice. And Coach Harrell coming over in his first year from South Creek. So I'm interested to talk to him on his first year on the job. And depending on weather tonight is supposed to be the Midnight Madness at West Craven High School for their football practice.
Okay.
They practice at midnight. So weather depending, we'll see if they have that. And if they do, I'm going to try to swing on by that. And then there's a coach's clinic and a coach's jamboree next week down in Jacksonville. I'm going to cover that, and if Brian doesn't get back from work in time, I'm going to MC that as well. So a lot of high school coaches down there, and yeah, man, it's just football season is here. ECU's back at practice this week. I love it.
A lot going on. Great time of the year, Brett. And the folks around these parts, Pitt County, specifically South Central, J.H. Rose, D.H. Conley, are going to get to know the Jacksonville Cardinals and the Havelock Rams a little bit better during the football season as the conference has been shifted a little bit. What do we need to know about the Cardinals and the Rams? Two really good football teams. Brett, what do they have in store for the Pitt County schools this year?
Well, I talked to Coach Alan Wooten at Havelock a couple weeks ago at the passing camp at ECU, and he said that they've lost a lot of seniors from last year. Their defense, they were really senior heavy last year. I mean, they do have a really good quarterback who is up and coming named Andrew Frazier. He's tough. They've got but they lost Camaro Edmonds, they lost Jalen Budget. There's their top two running backs right there. Cameron Hoover, their best receiver, is gone. So they've got guys. Vereen, the really tall tight end that they have, he is a stud. I believe Cushenberry is back too, their slot receiver. But I think this is, I don't know. We'll have to see, because Havelock's always a dominant force. I never want to count them out, but I don't know. Could this be a rebuilding year for them? That would be interesting to see as the season begins there. And then as for Jacksonville, Bo Williams, man, his teams are always fun to watch. But you never know. It could be. We'll see. I think Jacksonville. I haven't read up a ton on Jacksonville. I know they've lost some guys, but they look to be back and competitive again this year. So I'm excited, man. Like you said, the conferences are switching up. We get to see maybe new rivalries formed here. Who knows? I'm intrigued by all this.
Brett Kennedy joining us. Brett, the East Carolina football team had their third practice earlier today. We've heard from Mike Houston. We'll hear more from Coach Houston coming up in hour 3 of our show. But what's your take on ECU football, Brett? A ton of returners, so you're not going to have to dive through the media guide too much. You know a lot of the names. Well, what's your expectations for East Carolina this upcoming season?
That's good though. If you know a lot of the names coming back, Raji Harris. You've got Holton Ahlers back as QB1. You've got Tyler Snead back. You've got C.J. Johnson back. You've got all these guys. McMillan back in the secondary. You like to see it, and you feel good. ECU when the preseason polls came out, they were picked and tied with 8th with Navy to finish in the conference. I don't know. I think that's a little slight, depending on how many guys that they're bringing back this year, especially. And at the media days the other day, they talked to McMillan and Ahlers, and they're going to use that as a motivating factor this year. But we'll see, and they're going to get their chance to get against some good teams. They're going to play Marshall this year. They're going to play South Carolina this year. They're going to open against Appalachian State in Charlotte. So they're going to have their chances to prove the doubters wrong. If you're mad about that eighth ranked seeding in the preseason poll, prove it in these first couple games here to start the season. And again, we asked Mike Houston about that, and Houston goes, I love his response. He goes, well, that list doesn't matter. The only list that matters is the postseason list at the very end of the year when all of this is said and done. and I love that attitude. And he was out smiling. I haven't been to practice the last 2 days, but I was out for their first day of practice a couple days ago, and he was out smiling. Even in the rain, he was with a huge grin on his face. I know he's excited for the guys that he has back this year. And, the team ended on such a strong note, shocking everybody against SMU last year. In that high-scoring game, SMU was ranked at the time. That was such a big win for them. And, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see. ECU keeps building and building and building, and Mike Houston has turned this program around. The program was almost in shambles when he arrived, and it's taken some time. But once he's gotten his guys in there, I think ECU. You can only go up from here. And the season, if you're a Pirate fan, you've got to be excited because it looks very bright.
Brett Kennedy joining us. Brett, I will not ask any other guest on this show this next question, and nobody will have any insight on this answer like you do. Colorado State football, the win total for 2021 over-under is 4.5. Brett, where should I put my peanuts? Over or under 4.5 wins for Colorado State this year?
Well, they really bummed me out. They beat Wyoming, which is a huge win for them. That's the border war showdown, and their trophy. They get the bronze boot trophy. It's the trophy of a giant boot. It's pretty awesome. They beat Wyoming last year, and that was the first time they had beaten them since I went to school there, which was awesome. But then against all the other teams, Air Force, Boise State, they didn't play Colorado, but I'm kind of glad they didn't because they would have gotten trashed anyways. I don't know. I would say that's probably. I love CSU to death. You know me. That's my alma mater. But I would probably say, unless I see something different from Adazio's team going into this year, I would say that's probably about right. They've got new uniforms this year, and I don't know if you've seen this, but they do this orange out game every year. They used to be called the A&M Aggies, the Colorado A&M Aggies back in the 40s and the 50s, and their colors were green and orange. They have orange out games every year. And for the orange out game this year, they're doing a throwback logo on the side of the helmet.
Nice.
And the ram looks very similar to the UN.
Oh, I saw that.
So a bunch of people were mad about that, going, wow, that's copyright infringement. And, they're right. It does look very similar to that. So, but they've got new uniforms this year. I know they're trying to hype everything up. But I don't know. They've got some winnable games on their record this year. Vanderbilt, Toledo, but they play Iowa on the road. So it's going to be tough. But they should beat New Mexico. They should beat San Jose State. Boise State's going to be tough. Wyoming's going to be tough. Air Force is going to be tough. They should beat Hawaii, and then Nevada's up in the air. So I don't know. I would probably say 4 or 5, maybe 6 wins. Maybe they sneak into a bowl this year. So, yeah.
All right. Brett didn't sound too confident there, so I'm not going over. I might just stay away from Colorado State's win total. How about your Chiefs, Brett? And we know what they have, and their win total is astronomical. Who, in your opinion, is the biggest challenger to the Chiefs in the AFC? I'll throw out some candidates with Buffalo in the East, in the North, Baltimore, maybe Cleveland. In the South, I guess the Titans would be the only candidate with the Colts going through injuries. And out West, the Chargers are getting a little too much hype for my liking right now. So I don't know. Who is the biggest challenger, you think, to another Super Bowl appearance for your guys?
I agree with you there. Kind of the hype train on the Chargers this year. It's like, come on, let's pump the brakes. I know Justin Herbert was great last year. We need to see more. We need to see more from their defense. They've lost some guys this year. But yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Some of those teams, the Bills really scare me. The Bills, I'm terrified of because the hype train is real for them. And Josh Allen, their offense. They add Emmanuel Sanders this year, and they look scary. Cleveland, if Cleveland keeps coming along now, don't count them out either. Same with Tennessee. I'd probably say Buffalo, Cleveland, and Tennessee are the biggest threats in my mind to challenge the Chiefs in the playoffs. one of those, if not two of those teams, are going to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. I have a really, really good feeling about that. But yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the Chiefs' schedule here. Week 1, they play Cleveland. Week 1, right out of the gate. Then they go to Baltimore. Then they play the Chargers week 3. And then they play the Bills week 5. So we're going to see real fast, who is the dominant team in the AFC and who the dominant teams are. But the Chiefs' schedule this year is insanely tough. They play Tennessee. They play Green Bay. They play the Cowboys. You never know what Cowboys team you'll get there. They play Pittsburgh, and I mean they play. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. They've got one of the toughest schedules in the league this year. I'm actually excited, and you'll love this. I'm going with a coworker. We got tickets to go to the Chiefs-Washington game, Week 6, October 17th. We are going to that game, so that'll be the first time I see Patrick Mahomes in person, so I'm really excited.
I'm a little offended you didn't mention Washington as one of the tough games. Show some respect for the NFC East defending champions, Brett.
That's right. You guys got Fitzmagic this year. I mean, that should be an exciting game.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to keep up with the scoreboard, but I am anxious to see what our defense and specifically the defensive front can do, and maybe try to rattle Mahomes a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we can stay in it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Chase Young is scary, man, and that guy is only going to get better and better and better. That dude is a monster. So yeah, for him to lead your guys' defense the next couple of years, I don't know, man. That division's up for grabs this year, and I mean it's anybody's division. So I wouldn't be surprised if Washington was back-to-back division champs. I don't want to jinx anything. Again, you've got to feel good about your chances. It's anybody's division.
Brett, what year were you born? Just curious.
1993.
Okay, I thought it was. Yeah, Washington hasn't been to the playoffs in back-to-back years in your lifetime. So just throwing that out there.
But anything is possible. Hey,
Thanks.
I saw my Kansas City Royals win a World Series.
That is true.
And I saw my Kansas City Chiefs win a Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years. So anything is possible, my man.
There you go. Brad, you're a sports junkie like myself. Are you an Olympics guy? Have you been following the Olympics?
You know, you're going to hate me for this. I really haven't.
Hey, I'm with you, man. No hate here. I'm with you.
I've tried. I've tried here and there. I know I don't even see this shows how bad I am. I don't even know. I know the basketball team, our men's basketball team, made it to the gold medal game. I don't even know if that's happened yet or not.
I believe that is later on this evening. So.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's good for them because they started off so slow to fight their way back in it. But no, I did see Katie Ledecky in swimming won 2 gold and 2 silver. Good for her. How about Simone Biles? She was getting so much hate, and then to finally come back and to show up on the balance beam and get a 3rd place medal, good for her. She doesn't owe anybody a darn thing for all the hate that she's gotten. She could walk away tomorrow and just be totally fine with it, and she wouldn't owe anybody anything. So good for her to come back and fight through adversity there and get a bronze medal. But then other than that, again, you're right. I haven't seen a ton otherwise. Other than that, I did see those 2 guys that shared gold. I think, what was that, in the high jump, that Italian guy? And,
yeah.
I don't know if that guy was from America or not. But again, you're going to hate me. Yeah, again, other than that, I haven't watched it. I'm kind of ashamed of myself.
Brett, love the energy you always bring to the program. It's infectious. What you been up to this summer outside of work, or has it been all work for you?
Well, no, I've been trying to get away and try to enjoy some things. I've been recently seen a female in my life, and so we're going down to the beach later this week.
All right,
we're going to check that out and maybe catch a Down East Wood Ducks game. She's never been, so
great.
She's trying to go to one. But yeah, man, I've been working on that, and then some really cool stories I've been doing. There's a Jacksonville paratrooper who's boxing in Jacksonville tonight. Had a great story. He was homeless for a while, separated from his wife and kids. Now he's got a home again. His family's back together. He committed. He was tempting taking his own life 2 years ago, and now he's fighting for mental health. I did a really cool story on him. He's
Wow.
at the box tonight. And then the motocross rider from Cape Carteret, he was in Loretta Lynn's amateur motocross rider, 17 years old. He's met Cooper Webb, motocross legend from down here. So his story was crazy. He's been racing this week. Loretta Lynn's, if anybody doesn't know, that's the amateur racing pinnacle for motocross riders. So that was a cool story. And then, yeah, man, just kind of relaxing and enjoying these last couple weeks with summer here.
Brett, great stuff, man. Great to catch up with you and talk with you in a while. We will keep in touch and get you back on to talk more football once we get into September. Looking forward to that. And have a great rest of your summer, man.
Same with you, Cliff. Always a pleasure to talk. And, man, football season's going to be here before you know it. And I, like, you know this. I mean, I can't freaking wait.
Brett Kennedy is not alone with that statement. Brett, thanks for joining us. We will check in with him as we get closer to kickoff. East Carolina. How many days away are we now, Chandler? Jenny was in here earlier updating the board. Where are we at now?
27 days.
Wow, 27.
It's getting close.
That's not a big number.
It's getting littler and littler and littler.
All right, let's take a time out. When we return, we'll wrap up hour 2 by hearing from Holton Ahlers and Jaquan McMillan. They were representing East Carolina at AAC Media Days. You'll hear what they had to say, the questions they were asked, the answers they had when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Free Beer Friday. Back with you after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer, nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Amanda Houston, and when it came time to make the game-winning play for relaxation at our house, I made the right call to Jamie Lang and Carolina Hardscapes. Jamie and his team built the backyard oasis of our dreams with a beautiful custom paver patio, outdoor lighting, and fireplace. Make your backyard incredible and call Carolina Hardscapes today at 364-1201 or visit their showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Suck. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Karen Staten with AG Home Solutions. Thinking of remodeling? We are your one-stop shop for all your home design needs. Our AG Home Solutions design team has over 25 years of experience. Need a new bathroom or kitchen? Looking to upgrade your cabinets, countertops, tile, or flooring? The Design Center is open to all homeowners and contractors. Call us for an appointment. Visit agshomesolutions.net and mention Pirate Radio to receive a $100 discount through the end of August. AG Home Solutions, turning your remodeling dreams into reality.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Summer is a great time to buy beautiful new furniture at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, during our big summer sell-off, we've lowered prices all over the store. You'll find a great selection of the hottest living room furniture, bedrooms, and dining sets at savings that are hard to resist. And look for huge in-stock savings on sofas, sectionals, and recliners from Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Rowe with the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, enjoy local delivery for just $20.21 during the big summer sell-off now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Pirate Radio.
You know, for having such a bleak outlook on pirates, you're well on your way to becoming one.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, we've had some great shows, had some great podcasts as well. Alan Thomas one-on-one with Lauren Perdue, former Olympic medal winner. Also, Holton Ahlers one-on-one with Troy D, and Troy D's chat with Phil Steele as well. So a lot of great Pirate Radio podcasts coming out in the last week or so. We are eyeing down the start of another football season, and coming up in Hour 3, you'll hear comments from Mike Houston after Day 3 of ECU Fall Camp. Right now, we'll hear some comments from Pirate quarterback Holton Ahlers and cornerback Jaquan McMillan as they represented ECU for AAC Media Days. This was a Zoom event, but you will hear the questions reporters had and the answers the players provided. And Shirley, let's go ahead and hear number one.
For both of you, but Holton, your side of things, just raising your completion percentage, a statistic that's gone up for you, just what you can say overall you're seeing from your game looking back on film as you get into the season. And Jaquan, 7 interceptions in 2 seasons, just what quarterbacks should know about you.
Just know I'm going to compete at a high level and everything, every play. Not to come to my side. I study film a lot. I'm going to know what's coming. That's about it.
Yeah, like you said with me, it's just about completion percentage. I mean, anytime you can get the ball in those guys' hands, we got pretty good skill players at every single position. So anytime you can get the ball in those guys' hands, I mean, it's better. So anytime I can raise that, that's a big deal for me.
Holton Ahlers, Jaquan McMillan. Shirley, let's hear cut 2.
And then for you both, just thoughts on name, image, and likeness being in a new world for student athletes where you can actually benefit while you're in college.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's definitely a good plus. Anytime you can do that and benefit from it, you can. But, I mean, the main focus is still the main thing, and that's football and getting to a bowl game here, and that's what we're focused on.
Yeah, I agree with Holton. I think it's a great thing. Obviously, it's history. It's a good way to student athletes can make money off their name and likeness. And but like he said, the number one rule is the team, and we all have one goal.
All right, there's Holton Ahlers, Jaquan McMillan. Ronnie Woodward, a familiar voice, asked a question to Holton and Jaquan. Let's hear it.
Hey, Jaquan, looking at the big news of today is the preseason poll, and that ECU and Navy were picked tied for 8th, I think, among 11 teams. What do you think about that? Is that kind of stuff motivation at this point in the year or no? Just what do you think about that standing?
It's definitely motivation to me to keep working harder. I want to be at the top of the list. I don't want to be tied with anyone. I want to be number one. So yeah, it's definitely motivation. So I'm gonna go out to practice, compete every day like I do, and keep striving for more.
All right, a perfectly fine Q&A going there. Why do they have to pump in the generic rock music and the Star Wars sounds? Why can't we just hear... what if I'm just up here talking and all of a sudden this music starts playing and I'm trying to talk and all you can hear over top of it is these a guy screaming, a machine gun going off. We're in outer space. Mark Lindsay shows up. There's a guy screaming in pain. There's another guy yelling.
For sure.
There's Mark again. What does that add? Actually, it added quite a bit. I think we should do that for the entire rest of the show. What do you think? When Morgan Ahlers is here?
Do we not agree?
Should we have music running and guns firing off and lasers and Mark Lindsay?
You know, I just don't understand. I mean, this is kind of like...
No, go ahead, Shirley.
Go ahead, Shirley. I was going to say, I don't understand in this technology age where we have Zoom interviews and people don't know how to turn their microphones off, and now we have websites, you know, sound effects in the background. I mean, it's horribly distracting.
We're sorry, what?
ESPN.
ESPN!
I'm pretty sure there's more of that in cut 4. We'll see. Here's more.
In Holton, we've already...
Oh, they turned the music down a little bit.
Surprise team has been used about ECU. When you hear ECU can be a surprise team in this league, you've been around it a while. What does that mean to you when you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been looked over. We might be a surprise team to other teams. We're not going to be a surprise team to ourselves. We hold ourselves very accountable in what we do, and we take everything personal. You're talking about the predicted to finish 8th. I don't think any of us strive to finish 8th, so we'll see how that is at the end of the year.
All right, there's Holton Ahlers. You know what that was missing? It was missing some jams and some gun sounds and some lasers. And yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I think we're going to be pretty good this year. You know, just got to get the ball in those guys' hands and let them make plays. And just got to do what we got to do to get to a ball game this year, you know. And, I mean, it's going to take a lot of work, but that's what we're doing right now. And, yeah, Mark, you can see it on our face, the hard work and determination to get there. You know, we haven't been there in forever.
Pew, 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 pew. You know what? I think that adds quite a bit to it. From now on, when Mike Houston's talking at his press conference, I'm going to bring a boombox and start playing some jams.
Well, I do have a boombox, actually.
Can I borrow it?
Sure.
I want to play some guitar riffs while he's talking about the team.
I'm sure that'll go over well.
Good day of practice.
Hit it, Shirley.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Coach, how'd practice go today?
Hey, it was a good day of practice.
Could you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, sure. But it's a good bunch, and a lot of physicality, and when the opportunity is there.
I can see it on your face.
All right, Mark, that's enough, buddy. But we have a good bunch, and we're gonna work our freaking tail off every time we get on that practice field. Every opportunity we have.
Our freaking tail off, bro. Shirley, let's hit cut 5.
Can you give us your thoughts on today's first practice, how everyone felt out there, what everything was like getting back out there on the field?
Felt good. I mean, anytime you can get back out there on the field, I mean, camp's always an exciting time of the year. It's the start of the season. You know, about a month away from opening kickoff, so it's an exciting time. I mean, this is what we work for year round, and I'm just excited to be out there.
Yeah, Sam, it was a blessing to be back out there to compete with my team, get better with my team, work hard, and yeah, that's about it.
All right.
My question is why did they do the music for that one question and they didn't do it for the rest?
It's on video. I don't know.
Maybe they were showing highlights.
Showing either highlights or the poll, maybe.
Yeah.
But
some sort of graphic.
Which is fine. That's great to pop that up there while they're talking. I'll tell you what we don't need. Yeah. That's what we don't need. Or do we?
What was that Looney Tunes like sound effect right there at the beginning? It sounded like somebody running off.
All right, what are we on, Shirley? Let's hit the next
5.
Because now I want to hear these, but
6.
Really, I just want to hear if they play more music. Let's find out.
Coach talked a little bit about how happy he was with how the defense played towards the end of last year, those back-to-back wins. Can you elaborate on, where you see you guys as a group right now on defense?
I feel like we're just competing at a high level now. Everybody's competing. It's not just one group or the other group. It's all of us that's competing. It starts in practice. The offense pushes us, and defense we push them. So when you come in practice, you competing, it's gonna come even easier in the game.
I did notice they turned it down from the first time they came in. First time you couldn't hear Jaquan McMillan at all. Now they're at least playing at a lower volume so you can hear what he's saying. But man,
why does it have to have music in the first
Exactly.
place?
Why do they have... There shouldn't be any turning it up or turning it down.
From a production standpoint, that drives me bananas.
And there's a guy in a production room saying,
this would be cool.
All right, he's talking. We can understand clearly what he's saying. He's making good points. Hit the music right now. Crank it up, baby. Oh, this is great. This is great. Add sound effects. Add some lasers.
Add Mark Lindsay.
We need Lindsay. Bring in Lindsay.
I can see it on your face.
All right. All right, bring him in one more time here at the end. Ready? Mark Lindsay, here we go.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Great production, guys.
Way to go.
ESPN Plus.
Was there a production meeting at all?
No. Not with Shirley in the building.
Shirley, hit the next cut.
And Holden, can you tell us a
light
little bit
jazz
about,
going?
carrying over the offense? It sounds like you got a ton of guys back.
What the hell is this
familiarity is always
music?
a huge thing when you go into a schedule like you guys are working
Hold on,
at.
play it from the beginning again.
They're playing it
and
while the guy's
Holden,
asking the question.
Can you tell us a little bit about, carrying over?
They went from
the
rock
offense?
to like
Sounds like you got a ton
top
of guys
40
back.
mixed
Familiarity is
yeah.
always a huge thing when you go into a schedule like you
Sounds
guys
like
are looking
something
at.
you would
So,
play in a movie that you're
are you able
watching
to
at
start a
like
little ahead of
11
where you
p.m. on
maybe were
HBO on a Friday night.
We talking
Yeah, I think we're
Cinemax?
definitely ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably the most ahead we've been just because, like
Sorry
you
to
said,
interrupt
we're
you, Holden,
returning,
but they've already done it
10
with
out of 11
music
starters,
and
Like the
and
Red
I
Shoe
think
Diaries.
Too
Yeah.
Deep is back.
How do you know about
You
that?
just kind of jump into things. I mean, most of the
I
guys
don't
that
know
have been
about
here
that.
have played in big games here, have played for a long time here, not just
Okay.
even 1 year, but multiple
Interesting.
years they've been starters. So it's definitely comfortable. We can definitely jump
Thanks,
into
Holden.
things and add stuff to the playbook a little bit quicker on in preseason.
I gotta tell you, just answers without music and sound effects is kind of boring me these days. We need more.
No, we don't anymore.
Wait, so look, now we have added a new job to the Pirate Radio production team. When we get the cuts, we cut the cuts up, and then we have to get music to go behind it. Who's a former coach with like a raspy voice that would have been great for like
Jeep Wade?
Oh yeah, Jeep Wade. Robert Prunty had like a voice on him.
Yeah. John Wiley used to yell a lot. Might have been before you got here.
Yeah, I remember John Wiley, but that was before I was here.
Coach Rock used to have a raspy voice.
Great voice.
But he was just
Mark Yellick.
He was radio
Mark
gold.
Yellock had
that
a deep voice.
That dude could, man. I loved listening to him talk.
All right, let's hit one more, Shirley.
Holden, there's been a lot of talk, and Coach Houston seems confident in the run game, the running backs and the offensive line kind of working together. Just what's your perspective on that? And it seems like that could be a strength of this team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you can run the football, it opens up the pass and it helps you win games. I mean, late in games when you got to run down the clock to win a game or you got to go drive the football down the field, it's not always just going to be a pass. And I think we've seen that. I mean, the games that we've won, we've had to run the ball in key situations. And, I mean, I think that could be definitely a strength for us this year with the backs and the line that we have.
All right. Asked and answered, a good, straightforward question and answer with no music, no sound effects there to wrap it up. That was nice.
Clip, I just realized something.
What's
Thanks
that?
to the Twitter of the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
You might not want to count this because it's not technically a game, but the Pirates and Mountaineers will not be the first teams to take the new field tonight. It will be the Panthers in their fan fest. But
you said that perfectly, by the way.
if you want to get technical, the first game will be the Pirates and Appalachian State Mountaineers.
Chandler, we're gonna have to. Should we replay the last 30 seconds of this show? We needed that while he was talking. So the Pirates and Mountaineers are not the first game that's going to be played tonight. It'll be the Panthers, but technically the first game will be the Pirates and the Mountaineers. Is that what you said?
I guess. I kind of blacked out while I was trying to say it.
I get what you're saying, but
the first team to use it will be the Panthers tonight.
Well, it's their almost cursed. It's their stadium.
Yeah, man, but that's not cool.
Take us to break.
It should be us. Play the metal mashup.
Play it. Take us out.
It should be the Pirates. It should be the Mountaineers.
I agree.
It should be on September 2nd on a Thursday night. Not tonight. It matters between the Pirates and the Mountaineers. Screw training camp.
Take us to break, Chandler.
We'll have more after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Brian Fields, Michael Vaughn, and Jake Allen. I've watched a lot of baseball. That's still one of the most fun teams I've watched play.
I think one thing that gets overlooked with that team is how good their defense was. I mean, that's about, I think we made 3 errors the first game of the district, and I don't know if we made another one the entire summer.
Yeah, I think Carson made 2 errors the very first game versus Rocky Mount at shortstop. And I can honestly say I don't think he made another error through states, regionals, or Little League World Series at shortstop.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Cory Road, Greenville.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Friday, August 13th for the Halloween jersey giveaway, presented by Spirit Aero Systems. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies!
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust, and as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. If I told you what Morgan and I were watching in here, you wouldn't believe me.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
We're watching the Ocho.
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting ready.
But more specifically,
the cow chip tossing.
Now, I asked Morgan, what is a cow chip?
It is a dried buffalo, cow, horse. Yes.
And I said, they are not throwing piles of crap on television. And then something popped up on the screen that gave the definition of a cow chip, and it is...
They're turd tossing.
They are turd tossing.
They're turd tossing. Yeah.
Is that what they call it where you're from?
Back in Salemburg, we call it turd tossing.
Well, here's the thing, too. They just showed the color commentator and the play-by-play guy. Hey, we just got a job with ESPN.
Mom, they're the official rules.
There's the official rules.
Oh, cool. Hey, are you calling the Little League World Series?
Not exactly.
Nah. Well, what about the Little League World Softball Series? Not that.
Here's number 4. If the chip self-destructs in the air, bounds only piece measured is the largest part of the chip. All chips must be 6 inches wide for throwing. Under 6 inches, that will be voided, and you lose the throw. You can throw it overhand, sidearm, underhand, and they've got a big pile of chips to choose from.
That is nuts.
No,
I mean, there's nuts in those chips.
All chips must be selected from the loaded wagon. No homemade chips can be used.
So what's worse, the play-by-play job or the guy who brought the loaded wagon of crap?
Here's what. Look at him. He's barehanding that.
Yeah, no gloves, Morgan.
This is on ESPN too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're showing Ocho all weekend.
Championship cow chip throw is what it's called.
We'll go over some other events as we move along in the show, but
they did rock skipping earlier today. I was watching that.
I could have done that pretty good back in the day. Back in my younger days.
One dude.
All right, Troy. We know you're a great athlete.
All right, Pink Flamingo.
Morgan's mad, and for good reason.
I'm not mad. I'm over it.
You're jealous or something. You're upset.
No, I'm just disappointed.
He's disappointed. We let him down. I did not give him the memo.
Well, technically, we all didn't get the memo till late yesterday anyway.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get the memo I was supposed to be here today until about 12.
Wow, you got a lot of pin-up. Do we need to talk off there?
Yeah, we can
toss some chips.
Hey, do you need to let it out? Because we have some metal mashup that we can use while you let it out.
Let what out?
Your anger.
The anger.
Your frustration.
I'm not angered. I'm not frustrated.
You're disappointed. I apologize. I'll give you the week off next week. Shirley, I sent you a number. Can you give Cory Scott a call so we can talk about his big win earlier today?
Oh, I was about to say, no, you didn't, but I just got it.
Yeah, we watched the end of it. We have the final out available to see on our Pirate Radio social media site, so check it out if you missed it. The Greenville Little League All-Stars winners today over a team from West Virginia, I believe, Morgan.
Yep.
And they stay in the winners bracket. If they win the next two, they are going to Williamsport for the Little League World Series.
So first and second place, I think, go this year because there's no international teams playing in it. And I know it's an exciting time for Cory and his team. They're down there in Warner Robins. The one thing that I will say that I'm disappointed for them is they don't get to experience that. Not necessarily the pageantry of it, but we were down there, 10 years ago or whatever it was now. They for like 3 or 4 days, you had a lot of events. You get to go to the Air Force Museum and a lot of things like that. And they're not allowing the fans to come in. And Warner Robins always supports this tournament. They've been to one in St. Petersburg before they moved it to Warner Robins, and it's a tremendous thing when you got 10,000 people cheering on a Little League game. It's pretty cool. I didn't make the Williamsport trip when Greenville was up there, and they put 15 or 20,000 people in that or more. But it's go Greenville. Hopefully they'll pull it off.
So you were coaching, correct, Morgan, or watching Holt?
I coached Holton's. They went 2 years in a row. They went his 11-year-old year when they had Gregory Hardison and Philip Sanderson and Coleman Sawyer. That group went. And then as a 12-year-old, he went down there, and I was coaching with that.
And you went to Florida, not Georgia? Is that what you said?
Went to Florida with Griffin's group 1 year.
Oh, so you went to Warner Robins as well?
Yeah, I went to Warner Robins twice in St. Petersburg, Clearwater.
Scott Rogers, the other day, I asked, you got the Little League Softball World Series. That's awesome. Have you ever tried to get the Little League Baseball World Series? And he talked about how awesome the stadium is, the surrounding area. Like he says, Warner Robins is the place to be.
Yeah, Warner Robins. It's just a neat town. They built that facility specifically for the Southeast region. And if I'm not mistaken, back in they didn't use it for anything else but the softball tournament and the baseball tournament.
Oh, so it just kind of sits there.
That's what that was. It was built specifically for that, and I think it was built partially from ESPN money for the facility for cameras and lighting and that kind of thing. So it's a really beautiful facility down there in Warner Robins.
How close did your boys get, Morgan, to Williamsport?
We lost in the finals Griffin's year to Florida. We had a pitcher, Stephen Wedby. I think he struck out like 16. It was just on fire. Then all of a sudden he walks 4 in a row on like 14 pitches. And yes, you don't say umpiring had anything to do with it, but we were playing Florida, and 3 of the umpires there were from Florida. And
didn't squeeze a little?
No, a little bit.
A little bit.
And then played against Jake Fromm's team.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Warner Robins. I think it was, they were Warner Robins, I believe. And Jake Fromm had a pitching matchup against Holt when Holt was 11. And, that year finished third or fourth. Yeah. And then finished third his 12-year-old year.
Well, Cory Scott trying to take his team to Williamsport. Step 1 complete. They win earlier today and survive and move on in the winner's bracket. And Cory Scott joins us now on the Fixed NC Live line. Congrats, Coach. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And congrats on the win earlier today, Cory. And, man, you had a bit of a nail-biter there in the final inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. And you're going to – I don't know if you're going to face a bigger boy than you saw on that West Virginia side today. But the big fella comes up, and Cory has to make the tough decision at that point. Do you pitch to him? Do you walk him? You decided to intentionally walk him, Cory, and it paid off as you get the final out with the next batter. But tell us about that decision, Cory, and what was that like making that call?
Well, it wasn't too hard, I can tell you. It's like pitching to a grown man up there. That kid Surf, he's a good kid. And he's a big, strong kid, and he can really hit it. We faced him in 2019 in the TOSC, and we faced him a couple times in the fall, and we know who he is, and the kid can really hit, and he's a lot more athletic than he looks. I mean, he's a big 12-year-old, and he can hit it. And we were not going to let him win the game, against us. So we said, you know what? I'd rather have 1 run than 4, so let's put them on, and it turned out for us.
Yeah.
Cory, Morgan here. I know it's a big deal to get to Warner Robins. How have you got the kids you got down there, I believe, yesterday, day before. How have you brought them along to get the mentality right and getting ready for the game today, and now what has to happen coming up on Sunday?
It's been tough, Morgan. It really has. The long layover. It was hard to do, we had a couple weeks in between states and now, and it's been tough practicing at home and just every other day and doing things over and over and over and just ready to play. And the boys have stayed focused. We went out to practice yesterday. We went kind of late to a field close to the main Warner Robins field. There's a little park. It's got a couple fields on it. We went and practiced on, and when we got there, the Warner Robins Park gate was locked, so we couldn't go see it. After the practice, the kids ran over and ran through a fence and ran through some bushes and climbed up on a hill, and they got to see the field. And, man, that was an emotional time for me, to hear them saying, we made it, we made it. Just it really hit home that the kids were focused and they were ready. And really today, they played an outstanding game. I thought we pitched very well. I know Aiden gave up that home run in the first inning, which I don't know, it might be at Pirate Radio by now as far as it went. But we stayed focused. I thought we pitched really well. We got to hit the ball a little better. We need to put some more hits together back to back to back. But, Rook had an outstanding game, and Tice behind the plate was really, really good. And we made some really outstanding plays in the field that kept us in the game. So, I was really proud of the boys at the end when we huddled up and just told them I was really proud of the focus, really proud of the intensity that we had. I just think they're super excited to be here. It's really a good thing right now.
Cory Scott joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. The Greenville Little League All-Stars stay in the move to the winners bracket. Cory, what's next for you guys? When do you play again?
We play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Florida. Florida just beat Virginia 7-0. So we're going to see them at 4 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN Plus again.
Well, Cory, I know you had a busy summer so far, but you did have, from what I understand, ulterior plans if Warner Robins wasn't on your schedule. Is it true that you were going to be going to the Ocho's, the cow chipping contest that they're doing right now on television on ESPN2? You're the saves guy here at East Carolina, former All-American, got a great arm. Do you think you would have done well had you been able to go to that? But I know you'd rather be down at Warner Robins.
Well, I came runner-up in the States in that.
They do that a lot out in Manny on the Outer Banks, cow chip tossing.
I tell you what, a lot of these guys we're watching, Morgan, look like me, you, and Cory. We could be out there.
There's one guy that threw it, and he actually hit a car. But he was a little like a Samoan sumo wrestler. I mean, there's a guy talking technique on those. Come on.
This is terrible. Yeah, we're trying to concentrate, Cory, but we do have turd tossing going on television. So,
yeah, I know.
The Ocho going on right now. So back on ESPN Plus. What time, I'm sorry, Cory, did you say that game was tomorrow?
At 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
And I know coaches don't like to look ahead, but could you do that for us and the listeners who, if you win tomorrow or lose tomorrow, what does the schedule look like the next few days? Do you know?
If we win, we play Monday night at 7 on ESPN2.
Oh, wow.
If we win that, we play Wednesday night at 7 on ESPN.
Man, so there you go. And, Cory, you win the next two. That puts you in the championship, right? That gets you to Williamsport, correct?
That is correct. They're taking top 2 seeds from each region this year to Williamsport, as the international teams are not allowed to come. We're just praying, Clip, Morgan, that the COVID stays away. We just read breaking news that 3 teams out of the Southwest got eliminated today because of COVID, and I hate that for those kids and those families who fought so hard to get where they are, and I just pray that it stays away from us here and all of these teams here. I don't want to see any kid have to go home because of that.
That is brutal, yeah.
Well, Cory, who are you going to be putting on the bump tomorrow when you take on Florida?
Morgan, I don't know that yet. I wake up tomorrow morning, I have a cup of coffee and a banana and some fruit, and it just comes to me on the bus ride over. We've got everybody available except Aiden. And, I don't know who I'm going to put on until I'm halfway there.
If I was sneezing, I would call on that one, but I didn't. Come on, Cory. You can tell us. People from Virginia or Florida are not listening to us right now, except the wieners and whiners down at Central Florida and South Florida. They're not paying attention to us.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be Webb. It might be Luke. It might be Chase. It might be Landon.
Cory,
don't know.
We're not from freaking Florida talking to you.
This is like when I ask Morgan a question about ECU football and he won't be straight with me and just gives me the runaround.
I give you the straight answer. We're going to win and go to a bowl game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, Cory, all you got to say is we're going to win and go to Williamsport.
That's all you got to say.
You'll be all set.
Let's see on Monday.
There you go. Cory, great job, man. Congratulations to you and certainly the boys as well. And we'll check back in with you next week. How about get a win tomorrow, and we'll talk to you Monday ahead of your Monday night game. Let's do that.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on. Look, and I know Tiebreakers and AJ's had it on, and I really appreciate all the communities coming together and really supporting these kids. You know, a lot of people supported us getting here, and you just don't know how much it's been appreciated. I really appreciate the community coming together and doing everything to get us here, keep us here.
We're proud of you, Cory, and bring back that win tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be talking to you on Monday.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Cory. Cory Scott, former Pirate, All-American, and now coaching the Greenville Little League All-Stars. And Morgan is pretty cool. You can put yourself in his shoes right now. You know what the, I don't, and you can tell me, I mean, is it pressure when you're coaching little kids? It's got to be fun. But also, you want it so bad for them, right?
Yeah, you do. And, it's funny. That age group, the 11 and 12-year-olds, they feel the pressure. They go out there, and it's a big environment. It's, hey, we're on TV. But
you see ESPN signs.
Yeah, but once you get out there and start playing, it's a baseball game. It's the same game that you've been playing all year, and you the ones that can handle that pressure and focus and put it in perspective that it's a championship baseball game. It's a high level of baseball game, but it is the same game they've been playing, and they did a good job with that today. They handled adversity, especially late in the game when they were up 4-1. They held things off. The coaches made some good decisions, and hopefully tomorrow it's going to be a tough one with Florida. They're always pretty tough down there, and hopefully Greenville can bring back a W tomorrow and go 2-0 into Monday.
Yes, sir. Morgan Ahlers joining us here. We will take a timeout. When we return, we'll hear what Mike Houston had to say following day 3 of ECU football practice. Also, at the end of next segment, we will make you a winner. How about a 12-pack of Bud Light Retro Summer Seltzers, a 12-pack of Bud Light Citrus Variety Pack, Bud Light shirt, hat, koozies, Pirate Radio shirt, and a large 2-topping pizza from Domino's can all be yours on our Free Beer Friday giveaway. We'll do that at the end of next segment. We're talking Pirate football when we return after this.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville. Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities. Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Cory Road, Greenville. Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Touchdown Tony Collins, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock, Morgan Ahlers here, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt. We will try not to be too distracted by the 52nd annual World Championship cow chip throwing contest that is on ESPN2 right now. They are throwing cow turds and seeing who can throw it the furthest. And got some good competitors out there for this event, Morgan.
It's all in the skill of picking the right cow chip.
That's it.
I think that's
half the battle right there.
The battle.
All right, let's go
to the barefoot cow chip thrower.
Yeah, as you said, they don't really dress up for this event.
No.
Yeah, so you don't wear your Sunday's best to a cow chip throwing contest. We all know that. Shirley, let's hear from Mike Houston today after day 3 of ECU football practice. That is really distracting. He talked about how the wide receivers are looking out there.
I thought they had a good day today. I thought, CJ had a couple of big plays, had a couple that I want to see him, make that he didn't make. But Josiah Hatfield had a couple of big plays today. Audie has been very consistent to start. Our tight end room, I've been very pleased with, the top guys in there and their play. So I think that receiving core right there has had a very solid start to camp.
Mike Houston there on the wide receivers. He also talked about how important it is to bring his tight ends along quickly this fall camp.
Well, it's in our offense, we had to be better than what we were, when we got here. And, last year we played with some young guys, but it's obviously something we want to be a big part of our offense in both the pass game and the run game. So, we've invested a lot, personnel-wise in that room. And it's, the improvement is drastic from a year ago, just with what I think our potential is there.
Well, let's hit one more, and we'll get Morgan's thoughts on the pass catchers for East Carolina. Mike Houston was asked how important it is for Ryan Jones to string together some good practices this fall camp.
That's very important to him. He's worked very hard to learn the offense. He's had minimal mental mistakes the first 3 days. I think he's competing much better than he did in the spring. He's competing in the run game. He's, competing for balls down the field. He's still not perfect, but I think, much improved over what we saw in the spring from him. I think he's a guy with a little bit different skill set. So, he's a guy that I think we're going to be able to do a lot of things with. He and Shane together, that's two pretty good athletes there in that room.
Donnie Kirkpatrick said it when he was on this show, Morgan, and Mike Houston kind of reiterating it there, that he is not your traditional, tight end, going to be blocking. He's a guy you can put in the slot, find that mismatch, and it sounds like if he can pick up the things off the field and as far as learning the plays, he could be a major weapon for ECU.
Yeah, he's the kind of athlete that a lot of times you get a tight end out of high school, and they're in the 6'4", 6'5" range, maybe. I'm going to say the big-time recruit tight ends that come out and, they've been playing tight end in high school and that kind of thing. Well, he was a wide receiver in high school, and he was a very dynamic wide receiver. He was actually signed to go to Oklahoma to play wide receiver. They moved him to defense, bulked him up a little bit, but his heart was always on the offensive side of the ball. He looks at an opportunity with East Carolina. If he wants to play at the next level, he feels this is where he's going to make it at, and it is the more versatility that he can show, whether it's blocking, whether it's lining up at a traditional tight end spot, maybe going into the inside receiver, maybe even going outside.
Yeah.
Who knows? But he's going to be a force to be reckoned with because of his size and speed. So the secondary is going to have a tough time guarding him.
ECU football tweeted out a highlight of Josiah Hatfield making a play against Jaquan McMillan in a physical battle at practice yesterday, Morgan, and that's positive to see too. Josiah had a good freshman year. Maybe he took a step back last year with injuries and inconsistency, but if you know what you get in Snead, we're counting on a big year from CJ. Audio Matosho's been there before, and you've got all these young guys, and then Hatfield is if you can count on him every week, you got a heck of a group of receivers and tight ends to throw to.
Usually when the defensive coordinator and the defensive staff scouting somebody and putting their game plan together, last year their game plan was obviously to shut down C.J. Johnson.
Yeah.
To get in his head, to get on the line, really physically contest. Even though C.J. was, playing last year at 230, 232, and maybe a little heavier, a big guy, but he didn't have that maybe quite explosion early on that he needed to have. And I think this year he's down weight-wise. I talked to him about 2 weeks ago, and he said he was about 220, and he wanted to lose about 5 more pounds. But you got 5 guys right now that I think can get out there and be the guy any given game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and that's something too, Morgan. CJ down. They talked about how Holton Ahlers has trimmed down. And guys,
by the way, I'm going to give you a little tidbit. Inside information.
Okay.
They've got him listed at 230. It made him mad. He's about 222, 223.
There you go, folks. I understand that Rajay Harris was also not happy with his listed weight either. So you had some guys go down. Bailey Malovic shoots up. I talked to Igo, who saw him a little bit at practice earlier this week, and said he's starting to look like a D1 offensive lineman.
He's starting to look like a multimillionaire in the WWE AEW. That's what he's starting to look like.
He's got the wrestler body going.
But he's got. We've talked about this. He's got that long, lanky frame.
Yeah.
And then he's really bulked up. And Igo and I were talking the other day a little bit, and he was saying that the line looks as impressive as he's seen it out here. I mean, size-wise, you look like you have guys that, belong there.
And they're able, I understand they're working Avery Jones in at center some, which gives you flexibility to put, I guess you've got Bailey and Strother at the guards, or you can move Strother to tackle. You've got Noah Henderson returning, which is a good thing. And
you got
Malovic,
10 maybe 12 guys that can legitimately play at any given time. And with the offensive line, you never know. I hate to say this, when the next, your number is going to be called, because who's going to be there. But if you got 3 or 4 guys that can play every position, that just opens up a world of opportunities for people.
Got more Mike Houston to hear, but for folks wondering, the cow chip tossing is over. It is now time for the mullet championships, and Morgan will see who has the best mullet in the world.
You said this was coming up at 5:30. I said, is this mullet hairdo or mullet fish? This is mullet hairdo.
This is the hair. I don't know how you win a championship necessarily, but we will find out in the next 30 minutes. I can promise you that. Shirley, let's hit cut 6. What does Coach Houston want to accomplish with the team the last 2 practices before they are able to put on pads?
Well, I mean, I told him out there, it's kind of like, the first day of practice versus yesterday. I love some things about the first day, but there were some things that were sloppy. And I can say the exact same thing today. And, I think we've got to do a better job. I think our kids got to do a better job. I want to clean up some of the, thud tackling is not the easiest thing in the world, because you're asking them to basically go full speed, but don't take anybody to the ground. And you don't want it to get sloppy where people get slung around. So we got to clean up the finish piece a little bit. And, you start fitting things full speed up front, D-line, linebackers on the O-line. It's just, I want it to look better the next couple of days. And then next Tuesday, it's going to be, live full go for several periods of practice. So, you'll have the same thing. You're going to have a lot of enthusiasm, but, there's probably going to be some things that first day of full contact that you're going to have to clean up the next day out.
Mike Houston there, and pads coming up shortly, Morgan, in the next few days.
Wind chills today. I think pads go full contact and everything on Tuesday.
All right. So
it's hard to believe the first week's about done.
Yeah. It's day 3 today, and they'll have one. What's the weekend schedule? Do they go Saturday and Sunday?
I believe they're going tomorrow. They're taking Sunday off from the practice portion of it. I think they still have meetings, and they get back after it on Monday morning. And then Tuesday,
pads will be popping.
Collision time.
All right. And this next one, Houston was asked about. Just having veterans that know how to go through a practice, and he doesn't have to be as hands-on with every single detail because he has players leading the way. And you think about it, Morgan, with Ahlers at quarterback, with Sneed, with Bivens, with Warren Saba, you've got guys that have been in the program, Xavier Smith, a long time, and they're able to kind of police themselves, so to speak. And it almost sounds like, and you'll hear his response, but when Cliff Godwin talks, like, he doesn't have to worry about any crap out at practice. Like the players hold themselves accountable. Sounds like we're getting to that point with ECU football.
Yeah, if you go back to when Mike Houston first got here, his first fall camp, he had that spring football. Then he got the fall camp, and then a lot of the talk around, from his standpoint, he was very reserved. He was very, I'm not going to say tight-lipped about what was going on, but he didn't elaborate a lot of players. He was learning the players were learning him. But from a practice standpoint, you had to teach the players what you wanted to do. Learn how to practice.
Yeah, he said that multiple times.
And it's last year's camp, again, the first couple games got knocked out before he went down to Georgia State with the COVID issues. So that was a weird camp. But this is his second full camp. But you can tell just listening to him, if you had a chance to go back and listen to him 2 years ago versus now, it's almost like a totally different coach talking about his team.
Cut 7, Shirley, talks about how much easier it is now to go through these practices with these older players.
Tremendously. I mean, you guys can probably tell from the beginning of practice. You have guys that actually, the first couple of groups in punt out there probably look pretty sharp compared to what you watched the last couple of years. Guys kind of know where to go and what to do, and it's no different than anybody else. That first year, it's you're trying to figure everybody out, and everybody's trying to figure you out, and then we had the pandemic, so last year was crazy, but it's really good to have that experience back, even even the guys that are just second-year players, they have all that experience from last year to lean on. So I think it's been, it's certainly good to have here the first several days.
Morgan, look at Shirley. She is locked into this mullet competition. I haven't seen you pay attention.
Unfortunately, I fear the mullet.
Shirley,
you could rock the mullet though, Shirley.
No.
Well, we should have a race.
Chandler's going like, that reminds me of Spivey's Corner.
I said what? I couldn't hear you.
That's okay.
It reminds you of
Have you
Spivey's
seen
Corner.
some folks that look like that from where you're from?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a mullet?
No, never.
Come on.
I can't grow my hair out that long.
That's a better question for you. It was more your era. Did you have a mullet?
No, never have.
Have you always gone short hair?
Not really. I had high school. I mean,
how far to get?
Did you have a fro?
A fro? Well, yes, I did. hey. Where'd that come from? Did you have a fro?
Did you have a fro?
No, I didn't. No, I was always fairly short.
My goodness.
Shirley, there's some good-looking men on that stage right now.
What are these guys
there
having
are
to do?
not.
Stand up
right now.
They're judging on their. Oh dear God! What is Matty Ice?
All right, if y'all are at home while we're listening to this, please turn to ESPN2 right now.
Sound. You don't need to sound. Just listen to us. We'll commentate.
Yeah,
this is
the most
Redneck
America
Central.
competition I've ever seen in my life.
We have 3 variations of an American flag shirt.
He's got a
Whoa!
mullet.
This man with the beard. All right, Shirley, we got to make somebody a winner.
Oh, we
got to make somebody a mullet.
Oh,
winner.
we got America. We got to give away some beer, don't we?
That's not even really a mullet.
Morgan's critiquing this guy's
Critiquing the mullet.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right, hold on.
Y'all got to slide.
Oh, now that is impressive.
Booty everywhere.
The main event.
Booty everywhere.
I love their nicknames too.
To call in, you have to have a mullet.
Show us your mullet.
Whoa,
Show
look
us a
how
picture of your
long that
mullet.
mullet is.
He's got the Loretta Lynn mullet.
That might be my favorite at this point.
Uh-oh.
317-1250.
Mr. Golden. Oh, no, and his shirt is not even. He's got one button holding that shirt together.
Shirley, what color are we looking for?
12.
317-1250.
Oh, he looks like me wearing that Hawaiian shirt I was wearing earlier.
This is more distracting than the cow chip tossing. If you are caller 12,
That's Joe Dirt.
you win a 12-pack of Bud Light Retro Summer Seltzers, 12-pack of Bud Light Citrus Variety Pack, Bud Light shirt, hat, koozies, Pirate Radio shirt, and a large 2-topping pizza at Domino's. You can be our winner if you're caller 12 right now. We're back with more on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonsburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit qualityequip.com.
Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot, fixed. Damage from smoke or fire, fixed. Damage caused by water, fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com and today, and you can also give them a call at 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, maintain. And congratulations to Mark Hall of Winterville, our big winner for our Free Beer Friday. And he called in and said he does not currently have a mullet, but he did have one back in the 80s.
All right. Well, that will allow it. He can win.
Yes.
He's eligible. And he did win. Congratulations. A Mark Hall television production. It sounds like a name you hear at the end of a...
Oh, yeah.
Like a game show or something?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, look. They've been breaking down what the score...
Morgan, what's been happening since we've been on break here?
Well, the round one is the top 10 of the 100 people that entered the contest has been chosen. Round two, they will have flow, style, length, and overall presentation. Then they'll come out with the final three, and they will have a blow-off.
And a blow-off
consists of?
I guess using a hairdryer?
Or a fan? Like they have to stand in front of a fan and just be like...
But what
I haven't gotten that detail with somebody with a mullet before. So
how would you judge it? Like the best looking...
Like
flow in the wind?
You know how like when you see supermodels, you know, they blow a fan and they have to do this, you know. I wonder if that's one of those things. They have to do the Cher hair flip.
All right. Well,
who was the most famous mullet of all time? Is it Billy Ray Cyrus?
It's got to be Billy Ray Cyrus.
That's a good call.
Yeah, or Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
I've seen Joe Dirt.
But Joe Dirt...
Real mullet's probably Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Joe Dirt, I'm sure, was not a real mullet.
No.
But Billy Ray Cyrus got that one honest.
As we give you ECU football content, I'll try to Google best mullet and give you some more answers. Mike Houston talked about the team's leadership group. Cut 8, Shirley.
You know, we have a leadership group. It's about 22 players, which is big. It's bigger than I've had, but you know, they're guys that I really, really trust. And there's more than that. I mean, there's guys that aren't in that group that I see as leaders, and you know, guys that are, you know, it's like I keep talking about the O-line, but it's, you know, you have two groups on that offensive front that we feel pretty good about right now. And there's leaders in both groups that I think are not just leaders of the O-line, but leaders of our team. And it's certainly I think you look in the secondary and you got J-Mac and Malik and Nolan and DeMel. That those guys understand what we want from a competition standpoint, and they hold the other guys accountable. And so it's so much better from that respect than what we've had the first couple of seasons.
All right, Mike Houston there, the leadership group, and again, it just sounds more like a veteran, highly functional outfit they got going on right now with ECU football, Morgan. It's great to hear.
It is, and that's the kind of leadership over the years that sometimes East Carolina might not have had.
Yeah.
They might have had some teams where there's been players that have pretty much been out for themselves, and that was a problem. I think that happened some during the rough years early on, Scotty Montgomery years.
But you felt like, for example, a good side of that was when the Shane, Justin Hardy, you felt like everything was pretty stable behind the scenes.
Toward the end of it, yes. And then, it's one of those things that as a coach, you want players like that on your team. You want players to take the young guys under their wing and say, this is how we do it, because guess what? In a couple years, they're the old guys.
The old guys are gone. The young guys are now the old guys.
That's right, and they have to do the same thing.
I tell you what, we're going to hear more Mike Houston talk more football, but surely I have stumbled upon the 20 of the best celebrity mullets of all time. I've looked at a few, but I wanted to save my surprise, so I haven't looked at them all. Scott on Facebook Live says, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Excellent mullet. That is
fantastic call.
Yes, that was a very good call.
Shirley, I'm going to run down this list because the first couple, it's very 80s, early 90s, so you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
John Stamos.
Yes, Full House.
And he's got a beautiful head of hair and a beautiful mullet. Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh yeah, with her Johnny Carson days. Yeah, when she appeared on Johnny Carson.
Andre Agassi.
Oh man.
Oh, now that was
Agassi.
Yeah, that was a pretty good flow right there.
The headband with the mullet coming out of it.
And now you look at him, no hair.
Well, yeah, he went bald during his days.
He went bald real quick.
Hulk Hogan.
I got to disagree with this one. Hulk Hogan.
I don't agree with that.
He never had anything.
Well, that's the thing with Hulk Hogan. At one time, he did have a little bit up top. But now it's more like the mullet wraparound.
He was like always bald. Well, not always, but in his prime days and even WCW, he was like bald and then had some coming out the back. I disagree
with that one.
Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton.
Oh, now he did. His early days, he did have
when he did Austin and that kind of thing.
Yeah, when he did Old Red.
What is Jared Allen?
Jared Allen.
I think he had one early on, but I think he sort of cut it off.
But speaking of wrestling with Hulk Hogan, Steve chimes in and says Ricky Morton still has his mullet.
Oh yeah,
he does.
And by the way,
who that is?
Bobby Eaton passed away.
R.I.P. Bobby Eaton. Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, from
he had a perm.
Mel Gibson, was that?
It was with the movie
Lethal Weapon?
No, with Goldie Hawn.
Oh crap.
And Braveheart. Now he did have the mullet for Braveheart. Now whether that's his real hair or not, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Slater.
Slater.
Mario Lopez.
Yes, he did.
Had a nice mullet.
He had the permy.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. I'm surprised you didn't come up with that
She's like
one.
the wind.
Patrick Swayze, great mullet. Chuck Norris.
Well, his was kind of short.
Yeah.
Like there has to be some. Yeah, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen
in Hot Shots.
Hot Shots days.
Yeah,
is
that's a good one.
Wow, young George Clooney
from Facts of Life. Yes,
I've never even seen him that young before. That's kind of scary. David Bowie. That's a good call.
That was a good call.
Because what makes a good mullet is obviously what's behind, but what's up top too. If you go high up top, low down back. That's a good mullet.
Yeah, they're doing their pose offs right now.
Paul McCartney.
No.
Rihanna.
No.
Did not know she had one.
Michael Bolton.
Now,
and his was a fantastic mullet.
Is that more long hair than mullet?
I think that's more long hair than mullet.
Yeah.
Well, when it.
I mean, I do. I think it's more long hair than
mullet. But I do.
Doogie Howser had a mullet. That's not a mullet.
Yeah,
no, I don't. That one.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes, from Lost Boys. Yes,
Rob
I agree.
Lowe. And there you go. There's the list. So, The best celebrity mullets.
Actually, if you look up, see if you can Google it right quick since you're sitting right there. Pull up Alex Winters, Lost Boys. See if you can pull up an image of what his hair looked like in that movie, because I want to say
Isn't that Bill and Ted?
Yeah, that was the original Bill and Ted, but his hair wasn't long.
Had like 3 separate hairstyles going. He's got something up here and then a lot going in the back.
You got the curly perm.
He's got a unique mullet, I will say.
Yeah, because I thought his resembled a mullet from in that movie.
Yeah. All right, there's the mullet talk. Back to football.
Oh, Corey Feldman had a good one going for a little while.
I knew that one.
Boing.
Sorry.
How many different looks are you trying to give Holden Ahlers defensively to try to prepare him what he'll see on game day?
6.
Yeah, it's this time last year we were installing the defense for the first time. So it's not like he's been through a camp with the volume that he's seeing right now. I mean, you're going to get to where you're going to have by this time next week you're going to have a lot of stuff in to where you're going to really be able to mix it up. But he does challenge you defensively, which that's good. We'll be challenged in game 1 defensively from an experienced quarterback. He sees things that you're trying to disguise and can check us into the right play, which you can take advantage of it if you can do that consistently. So I think it's good for our defense, but I think it's also a challenge that for us to try to continually mix things up for him, because he's going to see a lot of different things thrown at him those first couple of weeks.
Morgan, there's been years, you think about the Conference USA Championship years, the defense, you just come out and say they were better than the offense at East Carolina. And then during the rough years and even recent years, the defense has been down, the offense has been better than defense. You want to have it even, and you want to be able to challenge each other, and I think that's what they're going for at practice right now. They're trying to get Holden the offense better. At the same time, he's trying to make Blake Harrell's defense better.
When you look at what's going on with Blake Harrell's defense last year, and you can see it in the spring, he was putting a lot of movement in the defense and calling a lot of stunts, that kind of thing. And I really like how he's played this. We're not sitting back doing the same thing all game long. Mm-hmm. He's changing a very multiple style defense, and I think that's going to be successful for the Pirates. I really do. I think the guys have bought into it, and you've got a really good secondary going against the quarterback and the wideouts. And offensive line, defensive line, they're going to be getting after it. So it's going to be a fun fall. But I think it's going to really set the tone early on for what the Pirates do the first 4 or 5 games of the season.
Speaking of that secondary, Stephen Igo asked Mike Houston about the play of the safeties.
Well, I mean, I think Juwan he's in the best shape he's been in since I've been here. He knows the defense. Football's important to him. You can say the exact same thing about Teagan. Juwan's just a little bit older. But I think both of them are going to play a lot for us this year. Defensively, I think they're both going to play on special teams. But I think they're both really good players in this league. Teagan, he got kind of thrown in trial by fire last year as a freshman, but really benefited from it. So I think the depth in that room, Sean Dorso, Warren's been a great leader. You mentioned DJ. You have some of those young guys, Laney, Julius Wood, Ty Moss. The competition in that room is so strong that it's really bringing out the best in each other. And it's something. My first year, I think we had 3 safeties that we played. And now we're sitting here where you got to fight to get on the field in that room.
And Chandler,
he was mentioning the safeties there in that battle there. He mentioned Ty Moss, and Ty Moss was the quarterback at Whiteville a couple years ago who made the transfer to safety when he came to East Carolina. So
keep an eye on him.
Oh yeah.
All right. You heard it here first. Ty Moss.
We've had 2 inside scoops.
That's right. You guys are bringing it. This is a short answer, Morgan. The question Mike Houston was asked is, are you paying attention to the conference realignment talk?
Nah. We got to get ready for Appalachian. So I'll let the administrators worry about that stuff.
That is not on his radar at the moment.
That's like the question several years back when I can't remember who asked this wonderful question. Coach, are you really worried about scoring so many points because the cheerleaders are doing so many push-ups and you're liable to hurt the cheerleaders?
No.
Well done, Shirley. Was that a Josh Graham special?
Well, I don't Google it up.
Google it up. I do remember that. It was like one of those lighthearted questions.
It was.
Hey, Coach.
And I think it threw Ruff off so bad. I mean, he was like, huh?
The hell you talking about? Let's get our last break in, Shirley Rhodes, and we will wrap up a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 GMC Terrain and save over $3,550 or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former Pirate receiver Larry Shannon.
We just had one goal in mind as we went to the Liberty Bowl in 1995, and that was to win. Coach Logan had this slogan of unfinished business, and that was kind of our motivation all year. And I just remember that game. Offensively, we didn't play very well. Obviously, Stanford had a good defense as well. And I remember our defense just carrying us and pulling us through and making the plays, to get that big victory for the program.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single-game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's poppin'. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Down East Wood Ducks Baseball is back. Come out Saturday, August 14th for the Welcome Mat giveaway presented by MedSource Pharmacy and the UPS Store. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium for Wood Ducks Baseball all season long. Go Woodies!
This is Stephen Igo, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at the stock market report for today. The Dow was up 144 points at 35,208. The NASDAQ dropped 72 points and closed at 15,109. The S&P was up 7 at 4,436. That is a look at your Wells Fargo Advisors stock market report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Rock.
All right, Morg, what you doing this weekend? Working or playing?
Not working, not really playing. I'm just sort of hanging out this week.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Got a few things we have to do.
Okay.
But that is what it is.
Well, have a good weekend.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out.
See you in a couple weeks.
We will talk more football with Morgan Ahlers his next visit, and also we'll have more details on the prequel to Yellowstone.
Yes.
Which we're excited about. We'll talk about that too.
Cool.
Shirley, Chandler, y'all have a great weekend.
Next 2 weeks
See
from
you
now,
Monday.
I want
Do the same,
memo.
my brother.
I want the memo.
2 weeks from Friday, we'll be back in our Hawaiian shirts. Morgan Ahlers will be a part of it. Deal?
Word.
Deal.
Sure.
Deal. All right, we will see you Monday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250.